This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester. Transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tawna Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Monday, March 24, 2025. Warren Newby says he's ready to work to repair relationships following Sunday's selection exercise in Northwest Clarendon. Chairman of the JLP's Communication Task Force, Senator Abka Fitzhenley, says that the PNP's budget contributions show no credible plan for the country's development. Opposition leader Mark Golding says that the Andrew Holness-led administration has failed to advance the lives of Jamaicans. In regional news, a Trinidadian doctor wins top honours in UK neurosurgery exams. In international news, the first black Republican woman elected to the US House has died. In sports, Reggae Boys set to meet St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the CONCACAF Gold Cup preliminary round at Sabina Park. And in business, DNA testing firm 23andMe files for bankruptcy. The details after the break.
For over 30 years, Chris and Charles has been financing your goals, dreams, creating your great moments. Celebrate the occasion with us. Borrow $1 million, pay less than $25,000 monthly, and get 30% off your processing fees. No guarantor needed. Call 876-920-4189 or WhatsApp 876-838-9028. Conditions apply. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Former Senator Warren Newby says he's ready to work to repair relationships which may have been damaged in the run-up to Sunday's selection exercise in Northwest Clarendon. Newby was the unanimous winner of the contest held by the ruling JLP to help determine who will represent the party at the next general election.
Our door is wide open. We're going to begin the reconciliation process right away. That no time is lost on our way to taking on the People's National Party. I'm not concerned too much because we have tried our best to conduct ourselves in a way that the persons who have supported the other teams know that they have our respect, and we trust that the conversations that we have had will be sufficient to lay the foundation for us to move forward.
Newby comfortably beat his two rivals in all four divisions in Northwest Clarendon, Riches, Spaldings, Thompsontown and Frankfield. He tallied 390 votes to finish ahead of attorney-at-law Corey Dunkley, who received 139 votes, and educator Dr. Clovis Nelson, who tallied 8 votes. Newby says he will now move to establish a reconciliation committee in the constituency.
I'm going to immediately name a committee to handle the reconciliation. It will be headed by former MP Ambassador Cliff Stone. It will be supported by His Worship the Mayor, Councillor Joel Williams. and then I'm going to ask the other two candidates to name persons to sit on it. I'm still seeking from a certified mediator. Once that has been done, then that work will continue while we get the other aspects of it.
Warren Newby, winner of Sunday's selection contest in Northwest Clarendon. The constituency is represented in Parliament by the JLP's Philip Henriquez. Henriquez will not seek re-election. The PNP caretaker is the former MP Richard Azan. Meanwhile, JLP General Secretary Dr. Hurst Chang says the party secretariat will recommend that Warren Newby be installed as the party's candidate in waiting in Northwest Clarendon. The recommendation will be made to the party's central executive. The central executive is the JLP's highest decision-making body outside of its annual conference. Chairman of the JLP's Communication Task Force, Senator Abka Fitzhenley, says that the budget contributions of opposition leader Mark Golding and Shadow Finance Minister Julian Robinson show that the PNP have no credible plans for the country's development. Senator Fitzhenley was speaking at the launch of the Young Jamaica chapter in Central Kingston on Sunday.
Hear a man talking about the 4 E's as the opposition spokesman on finance. And I said, hold on, that sounds familiar. Because in 2012, none other than Dr. Holness put forward the idea of the 4 E's, 4 pillars to move Jamaica forward. Focus on the economy, focus on efficiency, focus on energy, among other areas. The PNP go on platforms across the country and accuse the Labour Party of thieving them ideas. But then I hear the opposition spokesman in Parliament basically regurgitating. I say it word for word. Left out the environment. I don't know why. It is because they don't believe in the environment. The PNP has no new ideas to offer Jamaica. The budget debate was confirmation of that. They have no plan to move Jamaica forward.
According to Senator Fitzhenley, the PNP is a party bereft of sensible ideas.
Them tax everything. Them burden the Jamaican people. Them tax party. Them tax handcard vendor. Cannot afford to go there. We and them are not the same. Them believe in taxing the Jamaican people. We believe in empowering the people. Putting more money back into your pockets. Because we understand that is how you improve lives. And that is how you grow a market economy. And we cannot allow the PNP back into power to heap more taxation burden on the backs of the Jamaican people. We and them are not the same.
Senator Abka Fitzhenley, chairman of the JLP's Communication Task Force. Opposition leader Mark Golding says the Holness administration is incapable of improving the lives of Jamaicans. Speaking at the PNP's candidate presentation meeting in Easington West, St. Thomas on Sunday, Golding said Andrew Holness was a failure.
This Labour Party government, they can't take it to the next level. They've had 9 years. The Prime Minister himself has been the Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation. The jobs he's created, he himself admitted, are marginal jobs which leave people on the edge of poverty. And there's been no economic growth. The man has been a failure in his portfolio and a failure as leader of the country because he does not know what it takes to move the country forward. We are going to sort out the bureaucracy of the country and make sure the system is efficient and user-friendly. And get rid of the rules that are out of date and frustrate people and the processes that no longer fit for purpose and get in the way of progress. We will fix those things. I am going to chair the task force with responsibility for that. I am going to chair it myself because I have the skill set to make that happen.
Golding vowed that the next PNP government would be one of liberation.
It's going to be a government of empowerment for the people. It is going to be a government of upliftment for the people. Julian spoke about our education policy and our training policy because we want to have our people as productive as possible so we can attract the investment with the better high-tech, better paid jobs. Because right now, although unemployment is low, hunger is all over the land. 55% of Jamaicans are suffering from moderate or severe food insecurity. That means they're not getting the right diet. That's why we have so much pressure and sugar and so much stroke in Jamaica. People not eating the right food because they can't afford it.
Mark Golding, opposition leader. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says the government's plan to introduce a rural school bus service is not intended to compete with the service provided by operators of public passenger vehicles.
The public transport operators who would operate in these districts now will still have the benefit of being able to transport these kids, but for a shorter distance. And I want to make the point very clearly that we are not competing against the public transport operators. This government and this minister has a responsibility to protect these youngsters. And we know that because their fares are less than the adults, what they have to go through on a daily basis to get to school and from school, because of the fact that they are at a distinct disadvantage by virtue of fare, is unacceptable. The overtures that are made to these young school people, those indignities cannot continue.
The announcement of the rural school bus service was made by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness during his budget debate presentation last Thursday. The Prime Minister revealed that the pilot phase will begin in September with 60 retrofitted buses, followed by an additional 40 in January next year. Minister Vaz notes that the success of the program will depend on strong collaboration with schools and parents.
That will go through the schools. That will also go through a national campaign, public education campaign. But the parents have a responsibility. The government cannot do everything. Government is not at the house with them in the day and in the night. So the bottom line is that there has to be a collaboration with the parents. I said it in May, and we are now almost in May 25, and I'm going to deliver on the buses 60 for September. We have already identified 25 that are ready, and the rest are coming in. So it's just a matter of the schedule of when they come in for us to take them and get them retrofitted and get them on the road. We are going to implement once and for all, on a phased basis, a reliable, safe, decent, efficient rural school bus system.
Darrell Vaz, Transport Minister, he was speaking during Nationwide at 5 on Friday. Meanwhile, the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, JAPS, has welcomed the move by the government to implement a rural school bus service in September. President of JAPS, Linvern Wright, believes the service will help to improve the academic performance of students in rural Jamaica.
Certainly, it is something that rural schools are concerned with in terms of students not coming to school on time. Punctuality is a real problem in rural schools. If you look at performance levels between rural and urban areas, the difference is clear, and a part of it is about that affordability. So we expect it to assist. Once that's something, it's something that we have to give some kudos to.
Meanwhile, Wright believes that the Ministry of Education, based on its selection methodology, has contributed to the transportation woes of students outside the corporate area.
The truth is that the selection system from the Ministry of Education is really not as organized as it ought to be. So because of how we speak about placing people on merit, which to me is not really about merit in the way many of them think, is that we just group a set of students according to the tradition of a school. So we end up having many of the students who can't afford traveling very far distances, whether it's rural or anywhere. It's just that the metropolitan areas of Spanish Town and Kingston maybe are considered one, so you really have an advantage for those kids. But outside of that, most of Jamaican children have to travel all over the place because of our placement system. And maybe, to me, if it is that we had a better system of placing our students, then the transportation problems wouldn't have been as compounded as they are now.
Linvern Wright, president of the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools. The move by the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, to introduce a new route from Naga Head to Spanish Town and St. Catherine is not going down well with members of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, TODS. President of TODS, Edgerton Newman, says the livelihood of taxi and coaster bus operators is at risk.
We are threatened at the highest level, not just the new route tomorrow morning in Portmore, Naga Head to Spanish Town, but all across Jamaica where the JUTC is operating unofficially because they have the license to operate within the KMTR. They provide us with routes right across the length and breadth of Jamaica, our taxi and our coaster buses. Now they are putting JUTC bus in every space, right? And therefore, what is happening to us now, we are losing up to 45% of our income, the meager income we are getting, that can only go back into operation of our vehicles.
The JUTC said commuters will have access to the service on the new route starting Monday. That's today, Monday, March 24. Newman is also concerned that the new bus service for students in rural Jamaica in September will adversely affect taxi operators. He plans to deliver a plan of action to Transport Minister Darrell Vaz before the minister makes his contribution to the sectoral debate.
We will be bringing some buses, some school buses. So we'll no longer carry children, we'll no longer carry the elderly, and the bus that is going to run from Nuggets to Spanish Town, people like me or young people will be able to pay $50 when the fare on a taxi is $150. What do you expect? I don't think the government have the interest of the private operators at mind. If you see what is happening now, there are sporadic demonstration all across the island on various issues. We don't organize these demonstrations. It's the operators themselves. Now, what can happen if we don't see something coming away from the government after the budget debate? Then you'll see at the other side of the public transport sector.
Edgerton Newman, president of TODS. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, believes it has identified the company responsible for the recent fish kill in a section of the Rio Cobre. However, the agency says it will not disclose the name of the company at this time, as certain protocols must be followed. The CEO of NEPA is Leonard Francis.
Our investigation so far, we are 95% sure of the source, but we cannot put the name out as yet for two reasons. One, we have written to the company, the particular company, and we have requested from them some additional data to allow us to conclude our investigations. We have not received that information as yet. If we do not receive that information within 2 weeks, 1 week to 2 weeks, we will moving forward with submitting the files to the relevant authorities to allow us to take the necessary action.
The company, if found to be in breach, could face a multi-million-dollar fine under the recently amended Wildlife Protection Act.
Under the Wildlife Protection Act as it is now, it will be $100,000. But remember that our Minister Samuda had piloted a revision of the regulations where the company can be charged $10 million. That was passed by both the lower and upper house, and it is being gazetted. If the gazetting has been completed, I think we should be able to charge $10 million. It's just a matter of when the incident occur and if the gazette has been completed before that time. I would have to get legal direction on that, but it is $100,000, but the fine has been increased to $10 million for companies.
Leonard Francis, CEO of NEPA. Meanwhile, NEPA is giving the assurance that the water in the Rio Cobre is safe. NEPA had advised persons in the communities of Zephyrton and Vanity Fair to avoid using the water in the affected sections of the Rio Cobre for domestic or recreational purposes until further notice.
We have rechecked several times and it is completely within normal limits. So the incident was Saturday and it had cleared up in a couple of days. But we're just being very precautionary approach. But it's totally safe now, totally safe.
Leonard Francis, CEO of NEPA. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
You can have it all. Company events, birthday parties, or the wedding of your dreams. It's all possible at Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts. We have magnificent event rooms and a dedicated team that will make your event the best experience that only Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts can offer. Contact us at 876-619-0000 or call your favorite travel agency and ask about our promotion designed especially for you.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
In regional and international news, a young Trinidadian doctor has received the prestigious Norman Dott Medal for outstanding performance in the fellowship of the Royal College of Surgeons neurosurgery examinations. He is a 37-year-old Dr. Panduranga Sitahal Miraj. He obtained the highest marks overall in the UK. He is the first Caribbean doctor to obtain the highest marks in the rigorous examinations. Sitahal Miraj is a neurosurgeon at the San Fernando General Hospital. He is currently midway through the Pediatric Neurosurgery Fellowship Program as a senior clinical fellow at King's College Hospital in London. While the examinations were conducted in 2023, the awards ceremony was held in Belfast, Ireland earlier this month. International, U.S. and Russian officials began talks in Saudi Arabia on Monday, aimed at making progress towards a broad ceasefire in Ukraine. The talks, which followed U.S. negotiations with Ukraine and Saudi Arabia on Sunday, come as U.S. President Donald Trump intensifies his drive to end the 3-year-old conflict. Trump spoke with both Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin last week. The White House says the aim of the talks is to reach a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea, allowing the free flow of shipping, though the area has not been the location of intense military operations in recent months. Also in international this morning, former U.S. Representative Mia Love of Utah, a daughter of Haitian immigrants who became the first Black Republican woman elected to Congress, died Sunday. She was 49. Love's family posted news of her death on Love's X account. She had undergone recent treatment for brain cancer and received immunotherapy as part of a clinical trial at Duke University's Brain Tumor Center. Her daughter said earlier this month that the former lawmaker was no longer responding to treatment. According to a statement posted by the family, Love died at her home in Saratoga Springs, Utah. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Digicel, live life your way, no free what? Digicel postpaid. With Digicel postpaid, it's all about you. Sign up or pay your bills to stay active for a chance to win a luxurious all-expense paid trip for two to Royalton, Antigua. With round-trip flights on us, every week you could win exciting prizes. Event tickets, gym memberships, spa packages, excursion adventures, restaurant vouchers, and more. When you opt in on the My Digicel app, life your way starts now with Digicel. Better connected.
Promotion ends March 31. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Yes, me get the last cheese.
Taste the beat. Brothers and sisters, at the end of Easter service, we have cheese. Taste the beat. But one day we're getting a bun and cheese. Taste the beat. Serve, sell me some bun and cheese. Taste the beat. Why, this looks nice with some tasty cheese. Taste the beat. Could I have some cheese, please? Taste the beat. Make we get on real bad with the tasty cheese, boy.
We have the rhythm and the tins for you all, Easter.
Me grow up and see my granny save her money under her mattress.
But at all times something. That's where I save my money in the bank. And because I want to buy a little house, I also save in a building society. We have to be smart with how we save our money.
So what if the bank crash?
Well, that's where JDIC comes in. Make I tell you something. With the JDIC Deposit Insurance Scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at jdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Time now for your morning sports. Coach of Jamaica's Reggae Boys, Steve McLaren, is calling on fans to fill Sabina Park on Tuesday, the venue for the return leg of their CONCACAF Gold Cup preliminary round clash with the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The first leg ended 1-1 in Kingstown.
We need to be better. We've said in there, we can be better and we need to be better. And we need to make sure that, okay, we escape here with a draw. We've got to make sure we get the result on Tuesday. So we need the supporters. Like St. Vincent had the supporters. We need them at Sabina on Tuesday to get the team going, cheer them forward, and make sure we get the result.
McLaren says the Reggae Boys learned firsthand why the Vincy Heat have only suffered one defeat in their last 8 games.
St. Vincent, I think, one defeat in 7, one defeat in 8 now. Great games against El Salvador, we know, well organised, well coached, and a threat on transition with their speed, creating 1 or 2 opportunities. So the players know, and we have to make sure that we don't fall into the trap. I think the intensity and the competitiveness of St. Vincent was admirable. I thought they were really aggressive, and we have to make sure that we are as well. Come the second leg and make sure we don't make the same mistakes.
Steve McLaren. President of the Jamaica Boxing Association, Stephen Jones, says recently elected president of the newly formed Pan American Boxing Confederation, Elise Segnol, has his full support. Segnol was elected by the 18th member of the federation.
She's very competitive, so not just because I'm on the board of it, but I expect the Pan American Confederation to be the strongest confederation once all the other confederations are formed that build up world boxing. So we were the first confederation to jump out the gate. The others, Asia, Africa, once they get theirs together, which is happening now, I expect that with her leadership, we will actually be the hardest working one. And like I said, very competitive, and we have very competitive directors.
As a board director, Jones is on a quest to have the Caribbean Boxing Championships officially recognized by World Boxing.
My push, along with Kathy Harper Hall from Barbados, would be to have the Caribbean region have our Caribbean Championships carry more weight. So we already had a board meeting, and they support the idea of having our Caribbean Championships where our boxers compete well. When they do that there, it's not just about the Caribbean Championships. They actually leave with points that go towards an Olympic qualifier. That's that I want to push for first and go from there.
Stephen Jones. National swimmer Zach Randall believes he made the right decision in selecting Howard University for his tertiary education. The former Campion College standout was known for his strength in breaststroke and middle to long distance events. However, he says the past 2 years at Howard have made him a more rounded swimmer.
It's very different. It's much more specific than at home due to the fact that we have different groups called sprint group, distance group, mid-distance group. We also have different stroke practices and also our weight room program that's specialized for swimming. So the training is much more acute than in Jamaica.
Zach Randall wrapping up your morning sports.
Upgrade your home or business with Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Explore a range of termite-resistant plywood, quartz, solid surface, and granite. Experience timeless elegance with our cedar doors, crafted from premium cedar stock, kiln-dried for durability and beauty. For quality and craftsmanship, visit us at the Trade Center Kingston 10 or Hatfield Mandeville. Call 876-963-0628-30. Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Transform your space today.
In business this morning, the BBC is reporting that popular DNA testing firm 23andMe has filed for bankruptcy protection. It has also announced that its co-founder and CEO has resigned with immediate effect. The company will now attempt to sell itself under the supervision of a court. 23andMe said in a press release that it plans to continue operating throughout the sale process and that there are no changes to the way the company stores, manages, or protects customer data. On Friday, the Attorney General in 23andMe's home state of California issued a consumer alert advising customers to delete their data from the site given the company's reported financial distress. 23andMe saliva-based test kits were once celebrated among customers and investors who helped to push the company's value as high as $6 billion, but it has been struggling for survival. Founded in 2006, the company went public in 2021, but has never turned a profit. In the UK, the Chancellor of the Exchequer has promised that government running costs will be cut by 15% by the end of the decade. Rachel Reeves told the BBC savings would be made from back office and administrative roles rather than frontline services. But unions warned the impact of cuts would still be felt by the public, while 10,000 jobs are expected to go. It comes ahead of the Chancellor's spring statement on Wednesday, when she is expected to announce spending cuts for some government departments. The move is part of an ongoing spending review looking into all areas of government activity. In the coming week, Whitehall departments will receive a letter from Cabinet Office Minister Pat McFadden with instructions to make savings amounting to more than £2 billion a year by the end of the decade. Sectors such as human resources, policy advice, communications, and office management are expected to be in the firing line. And finally now, in foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar will open trading today, selling for an average $157.63 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar will open trading today, selling for an average $109.82 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican dollar will open trading this morning, selling for an average $202.95 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request a customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:31.
I pursue opportunities.
I prepare for opportunities.
I plan for opportunities.
With Sagicor e-Invest, you can prepare, plan for, and pursue IPO opportunities. Browse IPOs, review IPO details and prospectuses. Select and apply for a featured IPO.
I-P-O.
With Sagicor e-Invest. Think wealth. Visit sagicor.com.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-Tag on TransJam highways. Our automated T-Tag lanes reduce the cost of managing cash at our toll plazas, and drivers of Class 1 and 2 vehicles who use the T-Tag pay a lower toll fare than those who use the manually operated toll booths. They also get their 10th trip through any toll plaza free. The T-Tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient, and safer for our customers. So switch to the T-Tag today and experience the convenience. T-Tag packages are discounted to only $1,500, including a $500 toll credit from now until March 31st.
The University of the Commonwealth Caribbean Roadshow, the roadmap to your future. Join us for fast and easy registration, informative sessions, one-on-one guidance, and more. Look out for us on March 11, Port Antonio, March 13, May Pen, March 14, Morant Bay, March 18, Mandeville, March 21, Ocho Rios, March 25, Montego Bay, and our last stop, March 28, Halfway Tree. UCC Roadshow, the roadmap to your future. You don't want to miss it. Visit www.ucc.edu.jm for more details.
And everybody let me hear ya. Me have to ask, why eat other snacks when sunshine has the best for you? Nature's best buns are crunchy. The flavor that sings to you, salted banana and plantain. Taste the freshness, naturally sweet.
Jamaica's best bunch.
For generations, Jamaican families have trusted Imperial Optical to keep their vision clear and their style sharp. From their first eye exam to the latest in fashion frames, we've been there for every milestone, every moment, and every memory. Whether it's your child's first day at school or your grandparents' golden years, our care spans every age, every stage. Visit Imperial Optical today. Generations of care, generations of trust.
A very good morning to you. Good morning to you. Happy Monday. It is Monday, March 24, 2025. Happy to have all of you joining us in the YouTube chat. Good morning. Hello, YouTubers. Hello, peeps out there in Radio Land as well, tuning in on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 0.5, and 0.9. Good morning to you as well. Hope you guys are having a good morning so far. I'm Tona Thomas.
Good morning, Tona. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, friends. Good morning, enemies. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Everybody get a greeting.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hope you guys had a good weekend. You rested, you ate, you hung out, you had some time to reflect, you did some work. Whatever you did on the weekend, hope it was fulfilling and ready to start a brand new work week. Yeah.
Yep. Today is tomorrow the budget debate concludes. Yes. It climaxes with the finance minister's presentation. Looking forward to doing a review of the overall budget. Mm-hmm. This morning, listeners, just allow me to be a bit indulgent with this topic. Not going to lose you, but you'll understand why I'm talking about this thing this morning. Our business is a hard business. Especially doing journalism in a small society, doing journalism the right way is very difficult. It is easy to be a smile and bow and kowtow and deferential and non-confrontational. It is easy to be that kind of journalist. Very easy. Which is why most people who are in the field fit under one or a few of those, if you can call them categories or descriptors. To do journalism the hard way in any society, but especially in a small one, is very difficult. You run significant risks. You have family members who are concerned about your welfare, about your personal safety. Then these family members worry about their personal safety as well by virtue of the work you do. And this is especially so where you're in a situation where people who believe in a certain thing, or more pointedly believe in a certain party, always view what you do as something injurious to them, potentially damaging to them, and so the hate and the vitriol directed at you is incessant. And you have to make an allowance for weak feelings among your family members and loved ones if they feel that this hate and vitriol can translate into harm to you or your person, or the persons you love, rather. So it's a difficult business, and you have to make a calculated risk. You know, what kind of journalist am I going to be? Am I going to be middle of the road? Am I going to be like the regulars? Or am I going to call it as I see it? In calling it as you see it, you run the risk of people who you respect from time to time telling you that, boy, you know, what you did there is wrong. You may lose that friendship. You may lose the quality of that relationship just by virtue of you calling it as you see it. So it's another gamble that you have to make. Do you give up these real relationships? Do you sacrifice them by virtue of the things you say? Listeners, I want you to understand, you know, when we come here and sit at this platform, you know, and we do our back reading and we pay attention, rapt attention to the news daily, there are many things that turn over in our minds as to how we should approach an issue. And they're about, if you're thinking of 100 ways to put something, there are 98 reasons why, you know, you should take the simple road, take the non-confrontational road, try not to upset anyone. But will you be satisfied after you're done? Are you being true to what journalism is and what journalism needs? And I found myself thinking about all these things coming out of the reaction to that commentary about Percival James Patterson, former Prime Minister, recently. So if I've met 10 people on the streets who've interacted with me, and believe me, I've met more, way more than that, 9.5 say, boy, thump off my fist, youth. Strangers see me, I'm eating lunch, shake my hand. People see me in traffic. People see me everywhere. Say, boy, this, that. Yeah? Maybe only half. But I can't remember. I don't know. So I've met anyone who has had anything negative to say. Everybody has been effusively saying yes. A few people have called and said, boy, you know, you feel I go too far with the end and this, that. Yeah? And you come under pressure from the people who feel they were wronged. And they try to use the system to squeeze you, hoping that the system itself will be bullied into delivering for them an action against you that will cause you to cease doing the journalism the way you do it. And our business is not understood or appreciated by those who only have eyes, ears, and sensibilities for the mealy-mouthed kind of journalism. The kind of journalism where journalists have to be careful what they say because, you know, you don't want to talk too tough against such and such a person because you may have to call them and beg them a $5,000. Or beg them to pay a bill. Or beg them a blind in some way or the other. So you take your time. That's the kind of journalism so many people want to exist. When you're not that kind of journalist now, you put yourself in serious risk, in serious problems. And I must tell you that at a point in time, the pressure for me became too much. So I retreated to sport. I retreated to sport for 7 years. But knowing me, I found myself in some of the same problems in sport that I found myself in the hard news. Not being able to see something not being done well and accept it not being done well. And the people, the clown princes who are CEOs, presidents, leaders, doing nonsense. I could not call it out. So I had all of that reflection over the weekend when looking at how the BBC and its bosses have made the insanely idiotic decision to pull the plug on Hard Talk. That show that we all know and love, Stephen Sacker, the frontman, Zainab Badawi fills in when Stephen is unavailable, or she gets her own space because she's a top journalist in her own right. We've been watching Hard Talk since 1997. Apprentices like myself to Hard Talk. And the way Sacker is bold and well researched. That's how I imagined doing journalism. That's how I saw myself doing the journalism. Not being afraid to take power on. That show is no more. Sacker got his pink slip. The show is done. No more Hard Talk. And it leaves you feeling vulnerable as a journalist. So hold on there. If a group of people can make a decision and cut Hard Talk, whatever it is behind the scenes that has put them into that position, who are you in the context of things? You come here, there are some of us have certain skills elsewhere. We could be doing things other than this and making a good living, but we choose to do this. And at the end of the day, pressure can be wielded behind the scenes that pulls the rug from under your feet. Or you find that you slave for an organization for years. Then all of a sudden you get a call, boy, I want to have a meeting with you, and you're gone. So this work that you were doing, and oh, by the way, you know, people say, well, will the people always be with you? The people will not always be with you. You leave this platform now and go start a YouTube channel for yourself, and nobody not going to watch you. They're going to watch your replacement on Nationwide. So I want you to understand, listeners, that when we come here and we take certain positions and we try to be fair, because it's an effort, a lot goes into it. There is so much that you're putting on the line. It is so easy to collapse into line with everybody else. So easy to be friendly. So easy to look the other way. So easy to not ask a follow-up question because the person who you ask the question of is going to be vexed. But me no bill so. I was not made that way. I'm sorry. And I've confined myself and my family and my loved ones to torture. Because them say, brethren, what are you doing? We find something benign to do. Why are you allowing people to say these things about you? And at the end of the day, that which you are slaving for, it can just be removed just like that. Who would have thought that Stephen Sacker would be told that your services are no longer needed at Hard Talk? All of us are vulnerable. And the forces in the environment are so strong that notwithstanding your will and your tenacity, they can conquer you, which is why you should do this thing to your own satisfaction. Shakespeare said famously, by the fair weather you make yourself, it is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest. Given that the environment can collapse in on you at any time, and the important forces behind the scenes who are working to end you as an individual, to end you as a professional, they can prevail on the system to squeeze you. Then if that is an ever-present danger, might as well you do journalism to your satisfaction. Just be true to yourself. Anyway, done it done. If them for bung the pipe, you should at least be satisfied that there's a patch of earth that you wet liberally in your time. So when them come with the hacksaw and them cut the pipe and them take a piece of wood with them shave down and them push it in at the opening and them use a hammer and them boom, boom, boom and bung it. You should be satisfied with what you did when you were able to spray water around. It don't make sense you do this thing half-heartedly. Weak-kneed, jellyback, as the woman says famously in that video. It don't make sense. You come half-hearted. Your enemies are working overtime to conquer you. The system exists to cave into that pressure. The people you work with, anything can happen. You are but a vulnerable individual in this business of journalism. So, for the time may have left, could be 50 years, it could be 10, could be a week. I go down blazing here, man. I don't know no other way.
The Ministry of Justice offers free counseling to victims of crime. Call 876-946-0663. The time by the Ministry of Justice is
6:49.
Get extra on your hand with a partner plan from JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union. Conditions apply. The temperature compliments of JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Win with love. Use your JMMB Money Transfer Prepaid Visa Card from October 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025 for a chance to win your share of a $2.1 million grand prize, plus a $100,000 university cash grant and cash back from paying tolls and shopping with your card. Receive money 24/7 in minutes with Visa Direct via MoneyGram, Zoom, Remitly, or directly through RIA and Zoom. Visit jm.jmmb.com/money-transfer for full details on how to enter and win with love. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act. Conditions apply. Yo, my boss. Yo, my general. Yo, my king. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some stackerific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, stackify yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Chakama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electricians. Fancy select tools, free parts and free repairs. 3 parts, free repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
Time now for Street Smarts One with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Morning, George. There's a lot of road work taking place in the corporate area. I don't know if it's just happening in Montego Bay and other areas, but it's taking a little bit of time, but we'll get there eventually one day. But the roadways are, in terms of vehicle traffic, it's a Monday morning, and there are certain areas that are inevitable. All right, so just be aware of that. But so for the time being, going through Crossroads, that area is quite busy. Coming to Retirement Road, Half a Tree Road, going around to Caledonia, Old Hope Road in both directions. And if you're on the Caledonia side, heading towards Marasca, It's a steady flow going all the way down to Marston. But remember, it's a school zone, Wilmers. And whenever you see the traffic builds up, you remember you're in the school zone area. So going further down towards East Street, the flow is also steady. But the bulk of the traffic really is on the usual Mandela Highway, the 6 miles to Washington Boulevard, and the other one, Spanish Town Road. These areas have a lot of traffic. And you remember, people are coming not from maybe St. Catherine, Old Harbor, all of these areas, out of Twickenham Park, Angels, all of these areas. So they converge on the Mandela Highway, and this is why you have the traffic. On the other side, going through the toll, it is also a steady process going down to Mazascava Drive, which is also busy. All right, so it's our first report for the morning. And remember, it's bright and sunny at this time of the morning. Sometimes a bit overcast, but right now it's bright and sunny. So until 7:18, it's back to you, George, in the studios.
Thank you very much, Ludlow. Ludlow McLean there with Street Smarts One. Up next, the word of the day.
Your word of the day, spelled L-A-T-E-N-T, spelled L-A-T-E-N-T.
Latent. Latent. Latent.
Latent is your word of the day, an adjective meaning present but not visible. Present but not visible. That is your word of the day, first recorded before 1600. First recorded before 1600 is what dictionary.com is telling us about the word this morning. To use it in a sentence, the forest fire was sparked by a latent ember from last night's campfire. The forest fire was sparked by a latent ember from last night's campfire. Latent is your word of the day, spelt again L-A-T-E-N-T, meaning present but not visible. Up next, your features at the top of the hour of the news.
Living Well is brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Today on Living Well, trans fat. I am sure that almost everyone at some point in their adult life have heard this word trans fat. You have heard that it is bad for you, and you've heard to buy products that are zero trans fat. Today we're going to find out what trans fat is, and is there really such a thing as zero trans fat? Trans fats, also known as trans-unsaturated fatty acids and trans fatty acids, are a type of unsaturated fat. They're not widely available from natural sources, but have been industrially produced on a large scale from vegetable fats since midway through the 20th century. They are commonly used in margarine, snack foods, and commercially baked or fried foods, and have been linked to increased risk of coronary heart disease, which is the most common cause of mortality worldwide. What is the chemical structure of trans fat? On a molecular level, all fats are made of long hydrocarbon chains. The bonds between each carbon atom can either be singular or double, known as saturated and unsaturated respectively. Unsaturated fatty acids can either have a cis or a trans configuration, which relates to the positioning of the atoms around the double bonds and affects the properties of the fat. In nature, only cis fat is abundant, whereas trans fat may be present in commercially produced fats. This occurs when cis unsaturated fats are hydrogenated to remove the double bonds and become saturated fats with more favorable properties. However, some cis bonds are converted to trans bonds. Small amounts of trans fats can be found in nature as vacinyl and conjugated linoleal, which are often present in meat and dairy products. However, trans fats that occur naturally are seen separately to those produced artificially in commercial processes, and the health effects of natural trans fats have yet to be established. Trans fats offer no health benefits whatsoever and is only used to make foods more solid and in some cases increase shelf life. Many processed foods will say that they have zero trans fats. However, this is not the case. Unfortunately, even here in Jamaica, the standard of manufacturing processed foods that have trans fats is based on U.S. standards. This will also include imported processed foods. Food processing standards for additives such as trans fats are set by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The standards set say that any food that has 0.5% trans fat per serving can be considered as having zero trans fat. However, here is the problem. If a food item has, say, 7 servings, then you will exceed the 2.5% recommended threshold for trans fat consumption. If you do this week in and week out, you are headed for trouble. You should avoid all processed food, and if you cannot for whatever reason, then read your labels and limit your servings. Eating a fresh whole food diet is the only way to optimize your nutrition and avoid the pitfalls of processed foods. That's Living Well for today. Tune in next time for one of the main causes of hip pain.
Living Well was brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
On seeing someone for the first time, we often form an opinion based on how they present themselves. Hi, I'm Tana, and your Lifestyle Pages starts now. Here's a basic to-do list on how to always look polished. Wear clothes that complements your figure, and if you need to, get it tailored. Add accessories that complements your outfit, but don't overdo it. Make sure to keep your handbags shiny clean. Another basic item for your closet is a black belt, and a great jacket is your best friend. Always match your shoes with your bag. And finally, hair should be clean and nicely groomed. I'm Tana, and those were your Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is
7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 this morning, Monday, March 24, 2025, Warren Newby says he's ready to work to repair relationships following Sunday's selection exercise in Northwest Clarendon. Chairman of the JLP's Communications Task Force, Senator Abka Fitzhenley, says the PNP is a party bereft of ideas to advance the country. Opposition leader Mark Golding says that the Holness administration has been an abject failure. And in international news, the first black Republican woman elected to the U.S. House has died.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Former Senator Warren Newby says he's ready to work to repair relationships which may have been damaged in the run-up to Sunday's selection exercise in Northwest Clarendon. Newby was the unanimous winner of the contest held by the ruling JLP to help determine who will represent the party at the next general election.
Our door is wide open. We are going to begin the reconciliation process right away. That no time is lost on our way to taking on the People's National Party. I'm not concerned too much because we have tried our best to conduct ourselves in a way that the persons who have supported the other teams know that they have our respect, and we trust that the conversations that we have had will be sufficient to lay the foundation for us to move forward.
Newby comfortably beat his two rivals in all 4 divisions in Northwest Clarendon, Riches, Spaldings, Thompsontown and Frankfield. He tallied 390 votes to finish ahead of Attorney-at-Law Corey Dunkley, who received 139 votes, and educator Dr. Clovis Nelson, who tallied 8 votes. Newby says he will now move to establish a reconciliation committee in the constituency.
I'm going to immediately name a committee to handle the reconciliation. It will be headed by former MP Ambassador Cliff Stone. It will be supported by His Worship the Mayor, Councillor Joel Williams. And then I'm going to ask the other 2 candidates to name persons to sit on it. I'm still seeking from a certified mediator. Once that has been done, then that work will continue while we get the other aspects of it.
Warren Newby, winner of Sunday's selection contest in Northwest Clarendon. The constituency is represented in Parliament by the JLP's Philip Henriquez. Henriquez will not seek re-election. The PNP caretaker is the former MP, Richard Azan. Meanwhile, JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang says the party's secretariat will recommend that Warren Newby be installed as the party's candidate in waiting in Northwest Clarendon. The recommendation will be made to the party's Central Executive. The Central Executive is the JLP's highest decision-making body outside of its annual conference. Chairman of the JLP's Communications Task Force, Senator Abka Fitz-Henley, says the budget contributions of opposition leader Mark Golding and Shadow Finance Minister Julian Robinson show that the PNP have no credible plan for the country's development. Senator Fitz-Henley was speaking at the launch of the Young Jamaica chapter in Central Kingston on Sunday.
I hear a man talking about the 4 E's as the opposition spokesman on finance. And I say, hold on, that sounds familiar. Because in 2012, none other than Dr. Holness put forward the idea of the 4 E's, 4 pillars to move Jamaica forward. Focus on the economy, focus on efficiency, focus on energy, among other areas. The PNP go on platforms across the country and accuse the Labour Party of thieving them ideas. But then I hear the opposition spokesman in Parliament basically regurgitating. I say it word for word. Left out the environment. I don't know why. It is because they don't believe in the environment. The PNP has no new ideas to offer Jamaica. The budget debate was confirmation of that. They have no plan to move Jamaica forward.
According to Senator Fitz-Henley, the PNP is a party bereft of sensible ideas.
Them tax everything. Them burden the Jamaican people. Them tax party. Them tax handcard vendor. Cannot afford to go there. We and them are not the same. Them believe in taxing the Jamaican people. We believe in empowering the people. Putting more money back into your pockets. Because we understand that is how you improve lives. And that is how you grow a market economy. And we cannot allow the PNP back into power to heap more taxation burden on the backs of the Jamaican people. We and them are not the same.
Senator Abka Fitz-Henley, chairman of the JLP's Communications Task Force. Opposition leader Mark Golding says the Holness administration is incapable of improving the lives of Jamaicans. Speaking at the PNP's candidate presentation meeting in Easington, West St. Thomas on Sunday, Golding said Andrew Holness has been a failure.
This Labour Party government, they can't take it to the next level. They've had 9 years. The Prime Minister himself has been the Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation. The jobs he's created, he himself admitted, are marginal jobs which leave people on the edge of poverty. And there's been no economic growth. The man has been a failure in his portfolio and a failure as leader of the country because he does not know what it takes to move the country forward. We are going to sort out the bureaucracy of the country and make sure the system is efficient and user-friendly and get rid of the rules that are out of date and frustrate people and the processes that no longer fit for purpose and get in the way of progress. We will fix those things. I am going to chair the task force with responsibility for that. I am going to chair it myself because I have the skill set to make that happen.
Golding vowed that the next PNP government would be one of liberation.
It's going to be a government of empowerment for the people. It is going to be a government of upliftment for the people. Julian spoke about our education policy and our training policy because we want to have our people as productive as possible so we can attract the investment with the better high-tech, better paid jobs. Because right now, although unemployment is low, hunger is all over the land. 55% of Jamaicans are suffering from moderate or severe food insecurity. That means they're not getting the right diet. That's why we have so much pressure and sugar and so much stroke in Jamaica. People not eating the right food because they can't afford it.
Mark Golding, opposition leader. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says the government's plan to introduce a rural school bus service is not intended to compete with the service provided by operators of public passenger vehicles.
The public transport operators who would operate in these districts now will still have the benefit of being able to transport these kids, but for a shorter distance. And I want to make the point very clearly that we are not competing against the public transport operators. This government and this minister has a responsibility to protect these youngsters. And we know that because their fares are less than the adults. What they have to go through on a daily basis to get to school and from school because of the fact that they are at a distinct disadvantage by virtue of fear is unacceptable. The overtures that are made to these young school people, those indignities cannot continue.
The announcement of the rural school bus service was made by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness during his budget debate presentation last Thursday. The Prime Minister revealed that the pilot phase will begin in September with 60 retrofitted buses, followed by an additional 40 in January next year. Minister Vaz notes that the success of the program will depend on strong collaboration with schools and parents.
That will go through the schools, that will also go through a national campaign, public education campaign, but the parents have a responsibility. The government cannot do everything. Government is not at the house with them in the day and in the night. So the bottom line is that there has to be a collaboration with the parents. I said it in May, and we are now almost in May 25, and I'm going to deliver on the buses 60 for September. We have already identified 25 that are ready, and the rest are coming in. So it's just a matter of the schedule of when they come in for us to take them and get them retrofitted and get them on the road. We are going to implement once and for all on a phased basis a reliable, safe, decent, efficient rural school bus system.
Daryl Vaz, Transport Minister, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Friday. And the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, JAPS, has welcomed the move by the government to implement a rural school bus service in September. President of JAPS, Linvern Wright, believes the service will help to improve the academic performance of students in rural Jamaica.
Certainly, it is something that rural schools are concerned with in terms of students not coming to school on time. Punctuality is a real problem in rural schools. If you look at performance levels between rural and urban areas, the difference is clear, and a part of it is about that affordability. So we expect it to assist. Once that's something, it's something that we have to give some kudos to.
Wright believes the Education Ministry, based on its selection methodology, has contributed to the transportation woes faced by students outside the corporate area.
The truth is that the selection system from the Ministry of Education is really not as organized as it ought to be. So because of how we speak about placing people on merit, which to me is not really about merit in the way many of them think, is that we just group a set of students according to the tradition of a school. So we end up having many of the students who can't afford traveling very far distances, whether it's rural or anywhere. It's just that the metropolitan areas of Spanish Town and Kingston maybe are considered one, so you really have an advantage for those kids. But outside of that, most of Jamaican children have to travel all over the place because of our placement system. And maybe, to me, if it is that we had a better system of placing our students, then the transportation problems wouldn't have been as compounded as they are now.
Linvern Wright, President of JAPS. The move by the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, to introduce a new route from Nago Head to Spanish Town in St. Catherine is not going down well with members of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, TODS. The TODS president, Edgerton Newman, says the livelihood of taxi and coaster bus operators is at risk.
We are threatened at the highest level, not just the new route tomorrow morning in Portmore, Nago Head to Spanish Town, but all across Jamaica, where the JUTC is operating unofficially, because they have the license to operate within the KMTR. They provide us with routes right across the length and breadth of Jamaica, our taxi and our coaster buses. Now they are putting JUTC bus in every space, right? And therefore, what is happening to us now, we are losing up to 45% of our income, the meager income we are getting, that can only go back into operation of our vehicles.
The JUTC said commuters will have access to the service on the new route starting today, Monday, March 24. Newman is also concerned that the new bus service for students in rural Jamaica come September will adversely affect taxi operators. He plans to deliver an action plan to the Transport Minister, Daryl Vaz, before the minister makes his contribution to the sectoral debate.
We will be bringing some buses, some school buses. So we will no longer carry children, we will no longer carry the elderly, and the bus that is going to run from Nago Head to Spanish Town, people like me or young people will be able to pay $50 when the fare on a taxi is $150. what do you expect? I don't think the government have the interest of the private operators at mind. If you see what is happening now, they are sporadic demonstration all across the island on various issues. We don't organize these demonstrations. It's the operators themselves. Now, what can happen if we don't see something coming away from the government after the budget debate? Then you'll see at the other side of the public transport sector.
Edgerton Newman, president of TODS. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, believes it has identified the company responsible for the recent fish kill in a section of the Rio Cobre. However, NEPA says it will not disclose the name of the company at this time, as certain protocols must be followed. The CEO of NEPA is Leonard Francis.
Our investigation so far, we are 95% sure of the source, but we cannot put the name out as yet for two reasons. One, we have written to the company, the particular company, and we have requested from them some additional data to allow us to conclude our investigations. We have not received that information as yet. If we do not receive that information within 2 weeks, 1 week to 2 weeks, we will moving forward with submitting the files to the relevant authorities to allow us to take the necessary action.
The company, if found to be in breach, could face a multi-million-dollar fine under the recently amended Wildlife Protection Act.
Under the Wildlife Protection Act as it is now, it will be $100,000. But remember that our Minister Samuda had piloted a revision of the regulations where the company can be charged $10 million. That was passed by both the lower and upper house, and it is being gazetted. If the gazetting has been completed, I think we should be able to charge $10 million. It's just a matter of when the incident occur and if the gazette has been completed before that time. I would have to get legal direction on that, but it is $100,000, but the fine has been increased to $10 million for companies.
Leonard Francis, the CEO of NEPA. And Francis says the water in the Rio Cobre is safe.
We have rechecked several times and it is completely within normal limits. So the incident was Saturday and it had cleared up in a couple of days. But we're just being very precautionary approach. But it's totally safe now. Totally safe.
Leonard Francis, the CEO of NEPA. A new Anglican bishop is set to be elected later on Monday at a special council at St. Luke's Church Hall in Crossroads, St. Andrew. The election follows the retirement of Archbishop Dr. Howard Gregory, who served as the 14th diocesan bishop for 12 years. Approximately 200 clergy and lay representatives will gather for the elective assembly, which will start at 9 a.m. The election, guided by the church's constitution and the canons, requires a quorum of 3/4 of both the House of Clergy and the House of Laity. Candidates must be ordained priests over the age of 30 from anywhere within the Anglican Communion. Each nominee must secure written support from 5 members of the council and formally declare their willingness to serve. The names of the candidates will only be disclosed once the assembly is constituted. Overseas, former U.S. Representative Mia Love of Utah, a daughter of Haitian immigrants who became the first black Republican woman elected to Congress, died on Sunday. She was 49. Love's family posted news of her death on her X account. She had undergone recent treatment for brain cancer and received immunotherapy as part of a clinical trial at Duke University's Brain Tumor Center. Her daughter said earlier this month that the former lawmaker was no longer responding to treatment. Love died at her home in Saratoga Springs, Utah, according to a statement posted by her family. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:17.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, or 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
We have all been there. You feel the flu coming on and you want to catch it early before you start feeling horribly sick. But between syrups, rubs, drops, pills, and sprays, it's hard to know what to use for which symptom. Don't worry, when it comes to everything cold and flu, choose Pharmacold and Flu. This little tablet relieves nasal congestion, sore throat, pain, and fever. Get on with your day with Pharmacold and Flu. Distributed by Massey Distribution.
I am ready. Are you ready? Let's get moving. It's all about the Jamaica Observer Spring into Fitness promotion. It is here and we are ready to challenge and reward you. All you got to do is share a 5-minute workout video and win big. When I say big, I'm talking about a 1-year gym membership from Express Fitness Jamaica. Plus, you can win gift certificates from Body Forte Limited and the Live Store Jamaica. Remember, fill out your entry form in the Daily Observer and submit your videos to jolpromotion@gmail.com or WhatsApp 876-469-3089. Be informative, be creative, and be original. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Jamaica Observer for more details. Enter now, get fit with us. Jamaica Observer, Spring into Fitness promotion. Let's go!
I saw something suspicious at work the other day and decided to speak out. I was afraid at first, but did it because corruption must stop. They never too liked the idea and even threatened to fire me. But I believe it's my duty to speak out against these things. Be a whistleblower and help eliminate corruption. Call the Integrity Commission at 876-968-6227 or email cpd@integrity.gov.jm.
A message from the Integrity Commission, United Against Corruption.
Total Tools is now open in Drax Hall. Mondays to Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and open on holidays. Visit them at Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne. Telephone 876-972-6328 or 876-373-2729. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Morning, George, and for the listeners, the commuters, and all our visitors. I tell you, I know when you come here, you enjoy Jamaica. When you leave, you have good referrals and good remarks. But the situation out in the east, remember now, Bull Bay, that side is developing, and remember that roundabout, as they get to Harborview, it's building. There's a lot of traffic in that roundabout. So if you leave 7 miles heading towards Harborview, you're going to have the build-up at the roundabout. It's going to take you a little bit out to serve Flowersville Glasswood Highway. But if you need to get to the Norman Manley International Airport, provided that you're not late, it's going to be okay. It's smooth sailing heading out to the airport. And going further along to Flowersville Glasswood, the traffic really settles as easy as you make your way to Michael Manley Boulevard. But remember, going up Mountain View Avenue, you will have some traffic, especially in the vicinity. Once you leave Deanery Road and in the vicinity of Excelsior there, community, and also High School, you'll have the traffic going in that particular area. That traffic is going to... There are gaps along Mountain View Avenue, but when you get further up towards Seaview Avenue and Mountain View, you're going to have traffic. Arthurwind, that's the road that is in the vicinity of the National Stadium. It's pretty good. No problems in that area as you make your way. But as you go further along, you're going to notice traffic at that intersection of Herb McKinley Drive and Arthurwind, and then it goes further along towards to connect with Tom Redcombe. So all of that area. And remember, motorists, it's the road from Washington Boulevard, from 6 miles, all these areas has a lot of traffic. I keep reminding you. Also, along Constant Spring Road, heading into Arthur Tree, Manington Road, Constant Spring Road, Shortwood Road, and around Barbican Road. Those are the areas with traffic at this particular point. Traffic builds even beyond that. So there we go. Our second report for the morning, and we urge you, lane properly, and that's smart. Your safety is all concerned. George?
Yes, sir.
When you come on to work, the workplace or the work site, no man is indispensable, okay?
Not a soul.
The twinkling of an eye, you can, as you say, come to a meeting and blah, 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 blah. But if you're not feeling well or you plan to leave the job, are you leaving? We can do something for you. All right?
Yes,
So
sir.
It's, these things are reality. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Take it easy.
Thank you very much. Ludlow McLean there with Street Smarts 2. Up next, front page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
I see the clock up on the wall. It says 7:24. Good morning to you all. That working? It worked.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. NTM, turning our attention now to the front page. And on the front page this morning, we'll be bringing you excerpts from the political hustings as both major parties were active and out on Sunday. Over in Northwest Clarendon, former Senator Warren Newby has been elected as the GLP's representative for the next general elections. Newby secured a decisive victory over his two rivals, winning all four divisions of Northwest Clarendon, Riches, Spalding, Thompsontown, and Frankfield. He received 390 votes, finishing ahead of attorney-at-law Corey Dunkley, who received 139 votes, and educator Dr. Clovis Nelson, who tallied 8 votes. Following his victory, Newby announced plans to establish what he's calling a reconciliation committee in the constituency.
Our door is wide open. We're going to begin the reconciliation process right away. That no time is lost on our way to taking on the People's National Party. I'm not concerned too much because we have tried our best to conduct ourselves in a way that the persons who have supported the other teams know that they have our respect, and we trust that the conversations that we have had will be sufficient to lay the foundation for us to move forward. I'm going to immediately name a committee to handle the reconciliation. It will be headed by former MP Ambassador Cliff Stone. It will be supported by His Worship the Mayor, Councillor Joel Williams. And then I'm going to ask the other 2 candidates to name persons to sit on it. I'm still seeking from a certified mediator. Once that has been done, then that work will continue while we get the other aspects of it.
The constituency is represented in Parliament by the JLP's Philip Enriquez. And the JLP was in central Kingston as well for the launch of a Young Jamaica chapter. At that meeting, Senator and State Minister of Tourism Delano Seawright, he stated that the PNP is bereft of ideas.
The man from Southeast St. Andrew, he gave his speech. He tried. But when I listened to his speech, I thought it was a JLP speech because the man literally cut and paste quite a number of what we have done and achieved and recycle it and then come back and say, I'm doing this. Let me give you an example. Him say, I'm going to give $1 billion to content creators and so on. And I said to myself, but I remember Prime Minister announcing at the office of the Prime Minister, January 31, I think, last year, and he announced a $1 billion Jamaica Screen Development Fund for content creators, filmmakers, the whole works in that sector, the creative industry. And I also sat on the jumper board, so I know this is happening. 406 applications came in by July last year. The money is now going out to these content creators and these filmmakers. And this man copy-paste this thing and say, I'm going to do this when we're already doing it. That shows that they are bereft of ideas, my friends. But beyond that, I think they have so lost focus. I see them putting out they're bringing out other people now because clearly the leadership of the opposition party cannot carry them party. It's obvious to me. And that's where I've been seeing former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson. Just a little bit more and more. I mean, P.J. I think going to be, Donovan, he's going to be 90 years old, April 10. And happy birthday to him when he comes. And I see them pull the Prime Minister, St. Vincent, and him going to be about 80, I think, this year. So I say to myself, here we are, you have a party that wants state power, and them can't even carry a message to convince the Jamaican people. They have to draw up a man who started politics in the 1960s, before most were born, to carry the message of them party. It shows you that they are out of ideas, and the Andrew Holness government knows what it's doing and is moving forward to securing that third term with the support of the Jamaican people. So them come with this old playbook, and you know, I never did want to say anything. I know we have to be respectful to the former Prime Minister for our country. Also because he's a past student of 61 Reddles Road, so I'm sure he has achieved some things. Give me something. Give me something. Highway 2000, maybe that. All right. So give him Highway 2000 and the liberalization of the telecommunication sector. All right? We can say that. But what it shows, and it's PNP people coming to me and highlighting this to me, and I say, boy, this thing really gone from bad to worse. Because here we are thinking that such man will come forward with a new way, a new vision. Him can't carry it him if I call out PJ. Let me remind you on some of the things that PJ did to this country. When you look at inflation, when PJ Patterson was in power, all this time in office, the inflation cumulatively added up to about 2,000% labor rights. 2,000%. When you compare that with Andrew Holness's leadership, inflation added up to 61% in the years that Andrew has been in office. When you look at unemployment, when PJ was there, 16-20% unemployment rate. Under Andrew Holness, him cut that in 1/5, 3.5% unemployment rate in Jamaica under the leadership of Andrew Michael Holness, sexual labor rights. And then when you look at the youths, because young Jamaica is the future. We are the future. And we are talking about the future. We don't need to pull nobody from 1968 to come tell us how to move the country forward from 2025 going forward. It's madness. 30 to 40% unemployment rate when P.J. Patterson was Prime Minister. Under Andrew Michael Holness, the unemployment rate was around 11% for young people. But beyond that, nobody has created more jobs than the Andrew Michael Holness administration. Do you know that Jamaica, we created 250,000 jobs since Andrew Holness became Prime Minister of Jamaica? Do you know that legendary achievement that is? That is the power, the shower of our leadership. And then, of course, Mayor Vernon said FinSAC. I mean, the damage that did to Jamaica, we're still trying to recover from it. 40,000 businesses collapsed. Some people committed suicide. 42-44% of our GDP It cost the country about $144 billion. It took years to rescue. And you know what makes it worse? Is that the people who benefited the most from the FinSAC crisis and the economic catastrophe of Prime Minister P.J. Patterson are trying to take over the country. And in other countries, they would have been immediately disqualified from running for office.
Delana Siv right there speaking in Central Kingston. Just before we go to the break, earlier we played, in the clip we played with Warren Newby talking about the Reconciliation Committee. We also heard it in the newscast. And he said that Ambassador Cliff Stone would lead the Reconciliation Committee that he's setting up in Northwest Clarendon to mend fences. Just in case you forgot, Ambassador Cliff Stone, former ambassador to Venezuela, a trade unionist coming out of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union. He's 86 years old. And he is one of the trustees of the Jamaica Labour Party himself. Professor Oswald Harding, Dorothy Carter Bradford, and Dorothy Lightburn. They're all trustees of the party, and they were given a new mandate in December last year at the JLP Central Executive Meeting. So just in case you forgot and you wanted to know who the gentleman was, Ambassador Cliff Stone, trade unionist, former MP in Northwest Clarendon, and a man who's in his 87th year.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:34.
Fix up with Fleetwood products for your home improvement, personal care, and aromatherapy needs. They have your well-being in mind. Available at retailers island-wide. The temperature by Fleetwood Jamaica is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
At Active Home Center, we've got everything you need to create that perfect spa retreat. From comfort height toilets to the widest selection in faucets and shower enclosures to stylish tubs and the latest trends in bathroom cabinets in various sizes. Our bathroom collection has the perfect fit for every space and every budget. Your relaxing retreat starts here. Visit our showroom in Kingston at 84 Compton Spring Road or Montego Bay at Barnett Tech Park. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Yo, my boss.
Yo,
my general. Yo, my king. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some terrific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, satisfy yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King.
Coveside Concert Series presents Timeless. It happens on March 29 at Plantation Cove, St. Anne. Featuring international superstar Dionne Warwick and more stars Myrna Hague, Queen Marcia Griffiths, and Dwayne Stevens. Timeless, March 29. Showtime is 8 p.m. and tickets are now available at Fesco, Fontana Pharmacy, Plantation Smokehouse, and online at coveside.aitix.com.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
The University of the Commonwealth Caribbean Roadshow, the roadmap to your future. Join us for fast and easy registration, informative sessions, one-on-one guidance, and more. Look out for us on March 11, Port Antonio, March 13, May Pen, March 14, Morant Bay, March 18, Mandeville, March 21, Ocho Rios, March 25, Montego Bay, and our last stop, March 28, Halfway Tree. UCC Roadshow, the roadmap to your future. You don't want to miss it. Visit www.ucc.edu.jm for more details.
Welcome you back to Nationwide this morning. Playing for you excerpts from what happened on the political hustings on the weekend. The JLP, they were in Central Kingston for Young Jamaica's constituency meeting. They were launching the Young Jamaica chapter in Central Kingston properly. That's what they were doing. And they invited several speakers to transmit some vibes from the platform. The MP for East Central St. Catherine, Alanda Terrelong, was among those gathered there, and he accused the opposition PNP of being small-minded.
You understand what it means to have a visionary leader in Andrew Holness, because you understand that bad mind and small-mindedness nah gone away. And that's a problem that the other side have to contend with, because then too bad mind and then too small mind. I have people coming to me and them say, MP, why are the PNP fighting against Portmore becoming a parish? Who tell them say we did want then carry the matter go court? Who tell them say we didn't want to take court action for try stop the future of Portmore's growth and development? And one lady said to me, she said, Mr. Terrelong, me a PNP, but guess what? Me now have no time for the bad mind and small-minded people. Them we are trying to stifle the growth and development of everybody else. So we have to understand, because the people of Portmore want Portmore to become a parish because they understand what it means for their property value. They understand what it means for growth, for development, for employment. They understand that when other people have a dust bowl sit down for 13 years that they call a climate change park, they understand that it takes visionary leadership like Andrew Holness and Alanda Terrelong and Robert Miller to be building a $4.2 billion resilience park in Portmore. So I want to say to all young people, and I want to make a special appeal to the private sector, the business sector, and to middle-class Jamaicans who like to think that they are independent of the political system. Because my fellow Jamaicans, because when I speak to you all. Alanda Terrelong represents the people of Jamaica. Whether you are Labourites, whether you're PNP, no view, nothing at all. But I want you all to understand, my fellow Jamaicans, that it makes a difference who represents you. It also means that you all must stop thinking that all politicians are the same, because all politicians are not the same. There are politicians like the Prime Minister and like the members of Parliament representing the Jamaica Labour Party who care about every single one of you, who care about the future for your children. And this is why we have implemented so many policies for our young people. This is why we have implemented so many policies for you, the working class. This is why we've implemented so many policies that benefit the elderly as well. So stop thinking that all politicians are the same, because we're not all bad-minded and we're not all smile-minded. And a Prime Minister leading Jamaica like Andrew Holness sees things clearly. Everybody can now own a home, whether under the whole program or going to NHT. I mean, I remember when NHT was given $3 million, $5 million. Now, under this government, you can get $9 million towards owning a home. Under this government, the NHT will now be focused on building housing solutions that are in a $14 million range, which means that you can use your points and get $9 million. Or you can team up, whether with your mother or your partner or your grandmother or somebody else, and the two of you can team up and you can get, what, $15 or $17 million? It makes a difference who represent the people. And for those who think that, well, politics now have nothing to do with you, listen, the minute you turn on the light switch in your house, politics is at play. Because it is the policies of the Jamaica Labour Party that is focused on renewable energy. It is the policy of the Jamaica Labour Party government that says we're going to cut the GCT on the light from 15% to 7%. It is the policy of the Jamaica Labour Party that is making these changes that going to make everybody see a little extra in your pocket.
That's Alana Terrelong, the MP for East Central St. Catherine, also at the event. And after the break, we're going to play excerpts of Mark Golding out in West St. Thomas. But before we do that, Abka Fitzenley, the man in charge of the JLP's Communications Task Force, also addressed the gathering.
The Jamaica Labour Party is the political institution that has the best track record in terms of moving Jamaica forward. It's important that the young people in the party keep up the work. And I want to encourage you to give Donovan as much support as possible in order to retake this constituency on behalf of the Jamaica Labour Party. Donovan won, registering over 4,600 votes last time around, Donovan. And I hear a man talking about him have the love train. I drove around central Kingston today before I stopped here, across various communities, and I love the vibe. I love the energy. I see the young people playing cricket, playing football, and I love the camaraderie. It's no coincidence that central Kingston has a very low crime rate this year. That's not only due to the good work of the policymakers, and it's due to the good work as well of the security forces. But it is also due to the energy brought by Donovan Williams, who is not a warmonger. He's a man who pushed unity and love. It is clear that Love Train exists in central Kingston long time. And we don't need a guy to come in and bring a Love Train to central Kingston. The people of central Kingston don't have a Love Train going. So I want you to ensure that you put in the work to ensure that Donovan score well over 5,000 votes the next time around. Because I don't know if I should tell them, Donovan, but the other side, I hear they can't locate them canvas. But we have it. We have them canvas, Donovan. And we know in central Kingston, them a target over 4,900 votes. So Labour Rights, Central Kingston family, Young Jamaica family, I want you to assist Donovan, put in the work, and ensure that whenever a general election is called, that Central Kingston locked down for the Jamaica Labour Party and Donovan Williams. The next point I wish to make, because I won't stay up here long, our guest speaker is here. I see Minister Siva Wright is here as well. And I know they have a number of things to say to you, the Jamaica Labour Party family. It's good to see you in Kingston, Mayor Vernon. And I can tell you from now that the communications arm of the Jamaica Labour Party will be depending on you more heavily to spread the messages that we have to tell the Jamaica people, to tell the Jamaican people. And part of our message is that we on the next side, we're not the same. And I believe the recent budget debate highlighted that point. It is the government of the Jamaica Labour Party that has gone approximately 10 consecutive years of no new taxes. 10 consecutive years of no new taxes. And I don't want you to take that lightly, my Jamaican family. Because as you heard Rohan say, there was a time when budget was being read and people were in fear. Because the other side, they took an approach where them tax everything. Them burden the Jamaican people. Them tax party. Them tax handcart vendor. There was a time as well when Peter Phillips and the PNP, them tried to tax the very savings in your bank account. Imagine that. And them approach it so complicated. I recall being at a post-cabinet media briefing And Peter Phillips couldn't even calculate it to how them was moving to burden the Jamaican people and draw taxes out of your savings account. We cannot afford to go there. We and them are not the same. Them believe in taxing the Jamaican people. We believe in empowering the people, putting more money back into your pockets, because we understand that is how you improve lives, and that is how you grow a market economy.
After the break, we play for you excerpts from the opposition leader Mark Golding, who was in Western St. Thomas.
Crispy, crunchy, tantalizing fried chicken only at Bird Shack. Satisfy your hunger today. The time brought to you by Bird Shack Fried Chicken in Kingston, Montego Bay, and Ocho Rios is
7:48.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
26, 21.
At Active Home Center, we've got everything you need to create that perfect spa retreat. From Comfort Height toilets to the widest selection in faucets and shower enclosures to stylish tubs and the latest trends in bathroom cabinets in various sizes. Our bathroom collection has the perfect fit for every space and every budget. Your relaxing retreat starts here. Visit our showroom in Kingston at 84 Compton Spring Road or Montego Bay at Barnett Tech Park. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Taxpayers, if you have outstanding taxes, now is the time to apply for the Special Arrears Settlement Program. Pay outstanding principal amounts on corporate and individual income tax, education tax, pay as you earn, GCT, special consumption tax, asset tax, and partnership income tax. To get interest, penalties, and surcharges waived. GCT filers, to benefit, you must submit your application in writing. Offer available until March 31. Don't miss out. For more information, visit www.jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 888-829-4357. Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better.
In this uncertain U.S. immigration climate, you need expert guidance you can trust. The Consular Queen LLC handles visas, waivers, petitions, and more, making immigration stress-free. Don't navigate the process alone. Get professional support today. Call 470-593-8448 now. That's 470-593-8448. The Consular Queen. Unite families, change lives. 470-593-8448. Secure your future today.
My Mega With so much to do in one location, make Megamart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills, fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy. All in one amazing location. My Megamart, the best value by far.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're still tuned in to the front page. We're bringing for you this morning excerpts from the political hustings. Both parties were out yesterday. The People's National Party was over in Western St. Thomas for the presentation of Hubert Williams as the party's standard bearer for the constituency. The opposition leader, Mark Golding, he pledged that the next PNP government would be one of liberation.
The next People's National Party government is identifying the creative and the cultural industries as a vehicle for growth in this country. And it starts with the grassroots entertainment sector, of which he spoke. Right now, we have a system where some little arbitrary thing can play, and people can find that them party get locked down, and they don't have no justice in it. And the system for getting the permits is not transparent. And so it's a system of abuse. We want to change that as the next People's National Party government. We want to make sure everybody knows where they stand and how they can get their permit, and it's accessible and it's fair and just in how it's delivered, because the economy of the people of St. Thomas, it will benefit tremendously from being able to enjoy that sector growing and flourishing the way it should. In our budget presentation last week, we presented a series of proposals as to how we want to take Jamaica forward. It must be grounded in ethics. That means righteousness in how we deal with each other, inspired by God. Too much corruption in the country. And you in Western St. Thomas know a lot about that because you've been experiencing it under the regime in which you have been held. Comrades and friends, it's time to get rid of those things from our politics in the country. It's time to ensure that the people can have trust and confidence in the leadership of the country, that the resources of the people entrusted to the elected officials are used for the benefit of the people and people only, and not for friend and company. So ethics is a critical part of the next PNP government. And we're going to work with the churches and we're going to work with civil society to roll out a values and attitudes program, not directed by us as the politicians, but by the wise heads who everybody knows don't really partial when it comes to politics, and they're just thinking about the people of Jamaica, and they can see this as a progressive movement to a better place in terms of values and attitudes in the country. Comrades, the housing situation in Jamaica is in a very bad place. Affordable housing is not accessible to the people. There have been a construction boom, but the houses that have been built are houses way out of reach of the ordinary Jamaicans, civil servants, public servants, and ordinary Jamaicans. We are going to change that. We are going to repurpose the National Housing Trust, bring it back to the vision of Michael Joshua Manley, who founded it in the 1970s, to be an agency to empower people to own their homes. We are going to recapitalize the National Housing Trust with public lands that are available and allow those to be developed as affordable housing. And we will make sure the price is affordable to the people because we won't charge the people for the land value in the house. And that will give them a better deal. So when they buy a house, they immediately have equity in the house because the land portion of the price, they never had to pay for that. We have a system in place, or in mind, to put in place in the housing trust for public sector workers. We're going to give them back the interest rate reduction that this government took from them. For the lowest band of borrowers who earn less than $30,000 or less a month, we're going to take out the insurance cost out of the monthly payment because insurance has been going up and making it more and more difficult for them to manage. We are going to take that off of them and remove that burden. We're going to take $1 billion of the resources of the National Housing Trust and make it available as a deposit fund to help first-time buyers up to 35 years old who have been contributing for 2 years to the trust to get a $500,000 grant towards a deposit so they can pay down on a house. Because we know that that is a big hurdle to home ownership in the country. We have the rent-to-own plan. If you're a person who is employed in the informal economy, you have your little business, your little hustling, and you don't have a pay slip, and you can't go into the NHT and establish your monthly income in a documented way, we will say, all right, you want this house that we have in our portfolio for sale. You can go in there and rent it for a period of time. And once you've established that you can make the monthly payments, which are the same as the mortgage payments, we will flip it and make sure that you can borrow that mortgage and buy that house. We want to empower the people who are not presently able to access mortgages. And for those who are not earning enough to save for a deposit, and they don't fall within the 35 and under bracket, but they well want them house, we will allow them to go into the house as a tenant, and then a portion of their rent will go towards the deposit fund. And once the deposit fund reaches the necessary amount, it will pay down their deposit. They can draw down the mortgage and buy the house and become an owner of their own house. That is the kind of planning we have for the people of Jamaica.
Mr. Golding also asserted that the Prime Minister was not equipped or is not equipped to improve the lives of Jamaicans.
When it comes to labor relations, this contract work device that is out there in the economy, sometimes it is being used in an abusive way to keep people on recurring short-term contracts, and they can't get any benefits under the employment law. They can't get holiday pay when they take leave. They don't have several of the benefits that proper employees under the law of the land are supposed to have. We are going to bring legislation to end that and ensure that all workers who are really employees of the country, whatever the contractual device that their employer may use, must be treated as an employer and have the full rights that we have struggled for over the centuries to make sure that every Jamaican worker should have. So the next PNP government is going to be a government of liberation for the people. It's going to be a government of empowerment for the people. It is going to be a government of upliftment for the people. Julian spoke about our education policy and our training policy because we want to have our people as productive as possible so we can attract the investment with the better high-tech, better paid jobs. Because right now, although unemployment is low, hunger is all over the land. 55% of Jamaicans are suffering from moderate or severe food insecurity. That means they're not getting the right diet. That's why we have so much pressure and sugar and so much stroke in Jamaica. People not eating the right food because they can't afford it. So we need a total revolution in how we deal with all of these things and put Jamaica on the right path forward. We are the ones who brought the solutions that have enabled the public debt in this country to come from the high level it once was, where the country was on the edge of financial collapse, down now to where it is today, where the public debt is no longer such a frightening thing because we know how to manage it. But this Labour Party government, they can't take it to the next level. They've had 9 years. The Prime Minister himself has been the Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation. The jobs he's created, he himself admitted, are marginal jobs which leave people on the edge of poverty. And there's been no economic growth. The man has been a failure in his portfolio and a failure as leader of the country because he does not know what it takes to move the country forward. We are going to sort out the bureaucracy of the country and make sure the system is efficient and user-friendly and get rid of the rules that are out of date and frustrate people and the processes that no longer fit for purpose and get in the way of progress. We will fix those things. I am going to chair the task force with responsibility for that. I am going to chair it myself because I have the skill set to make that happen. So people, it's important that we get enumerated if we're not on the voters list and we're minded to vote for the PNP. If you know anybody out there who's a PNP-minded person who tells you, yeah, them like Marky G and they love the plans and they love the team and they think we can deliver for Jamaica and they're not on the voters list, please make sure they get enumerated by next week, Monday, so that they can be on the voters list that will be published at the end of May, because there's a good chance that that will be the voters list that we vote on in the next election.
That's Mark Golding, the opposition leader, speaking in Western St. Thomas at a caretaker presentation meeting in the constituency. Well, guess what? We're done with that. Just before we go to the break, Ton, just an update. We understand information coming through to our news center that students and staff have been locked out of St. James High School again. Yes, getting some correspondence here that the school gates have been padlocked. Looking at a message here sent to a contact who says they have locked the school gate, preventing students and teachers from entering the compound. This cannot be right. This is too much. Students are prevented from learning. Those who locked the gate should be dealt with. That's one message. And another message to say, yes, the school gates have indeed been padlocked. So again, St. James High School in the news for the wrong reasons. The teaching learning dynamic disrupted this morning because students can't access the school compound. Teachers cannot access the school compound, and the mess continues. There's another piece of communication coming to hand, but I'll read that after the break, Tona. I have a letter here to the principal, sent to the principal by the ministry, dated March 19th. It would have been sometime last week. And
last week, Wednesday.
Yeah, and copied to some stakeholders, but I'll read that after Across Jamaica at 8. But the word is St. James High, no school, at least right now, because the school gates have been locked, students and teachers on the outside looking in.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:02.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
In across Jamaica this Monday morning, the trial of American citizen Henry Topping, who is accused of murdering his estranged wife in 2019, is set to continue in the St. Elizabeth Circuit Court on Monday. The case stems from the fatal shooting of 49-year-old Moylin Williams Topping in Seaview District in the parish on February 15, 2019. According to police reports, Williams Topping, a school transport operator, was shot while leaving her home on the morning of the incident. Topping, who was 53 years old at the time, was arrested and charged 6 days after. The National Fisheries Authority has produced its first batch of post-larval freshwater prawns from its new in-house hatchery. This under a pilot project underway for the past 18 months. Approximately 15,000 of the prawns have been placed in ponds at the Twickenham Park complex. The National Fisheries Authority says the long-term vision is to expand the industry, support local farmers, and eventually position Jamaica as a major player in prawn farming on a larger scale. Senior Research Officer Alex Clark says a freshwater prawn is a highly sought-after product internationally, and demand remains strong in Jamaica, particularly within the hotel and hospitality sectors. He says the Fisheries Authority is encouraging farmers to enter shrimp farming and increase the profitability of their aquaculture enterprise by growing shrimp and tilapia in the same pond. The National College for Education Leadership, NCEL, has launched 5 new programs and products to enhance the leadership capacity of educators and school administrators. They are a combination of workbooks and training workshops, Leadership Footprints, Leadership in Action, a practical guide to transform schools, Leadership 360, Financial Leadership and Management in Schools, an Introduction to School and System Leadership, or some of them. NCEL will also offer an introductory course on school and system leadership for new teachers. The programs were unveiled during NCEL's Leadership Day, held at the University of the West Indies Regional Headquarters in St. Andrew last week, Thursday. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Monday morning.
Win with love. Use your JMMB Money Transfer Prepaid Visa Card from October 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025 for a chance to win your share of a $2.1 million grand prize, plus a $100,000 university cash grant and cash back from paying tolls and shopping with your card. Receive money 24/7 in minutes with Visa Direct via MoneyGram, Zoom, Remitly, or directly through RIA and Zoom. Visit jm.jmmb.com/money-transfer for full details on how to enter and win with love. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Conditions apply.
So, Bonnie, you renew your road license yet?
Babes, the road have me away. I can't even find time, but you know money have to make.
Because see, I shall out them money the back for late fee and record fee when you sit down make your road license expire upon you.
Well, transport authority so we can apply online. That me I got to know.
Operators of public passenger vehicles and commercial carriers, renew your road license before April 1 and avoid late penalty. A message from the Transport Authority.
Want to reduce your high electricity bills?
Then Peak Energy has the solution for you. From grid-tied to hybrid solar inverters with full lithium-ion battery pack. Installation and maintenance packages available. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hill, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
The University of the Commonwealth Caribbean Roadshow, the roadmap to your future. Join us for fast and easy registration, informative sessions, one-on-one guidance, and more. Look out for us on March 11, Port Antonio, March 13, May Pen, March 14, Morant Bay, March 18, Mandeville, March 21, Ocho Rios, March 25, Montego Bay, and our last stop, March 28, Halfway Tree. UCC Roadshow, the roadmap to your future. You don't want to miss it. Visit www.ucc.edu.jm for more details.
Attention procurement officers looking for office furniture? Call Econo Office and School Supplies. We also offer stationery, office equipment, printing supplies, school supplies, shredder servicing, and custom stamps. Visit us at 40.5B Red Hills Road, Kingston. Call 876-620-8820 or WhatsApp 876-208-2233. Visit our website at econo-oss.com. Econo Office and School Supplies Limited, your one-stop shop for all office and school needs. Let us simplify your life.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Turning our attention now to Level Up Jamaica 2025. Take your expertise in U.S. immigration services to the next level at this premier event presented by the Consular Queen Academy and Winter Immigration Law Academy. This event is co-led by industry leaders Nordia Barrett-Lewis and Dione Winter Funde, Esquire renowned experts in immigration services. For more on the event, I'm being joined by immigration attorney and founder of Winter Immigration Law Academy, Dione Winter Funde. Good morning to you. Dione Winter Funde. Good morning to you, Dione.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. After a good morning run and a dip in the ocean, I'm ready to start my Monday.
Oh, yeah, you had the perfect Monday morning start. So, Dione, talk to us about the importance now of U.S. immigration services in today's global landscape.
It's hard to jump in without, let's look at some numbers, right? Mm-hmm. I did a little bit of research before I jumped on, and this year I looked at the U.S. consulate in Jamaica, and let's keep this local before we go global. And we know that over 13,000 immigrant visas, non-immigrant visas were issued. So 13,000 Jamaicans annually, it's leaving Jamaica legally to the United States. That's 13,000. And we're not even looking at who's leaving without the proper means. So when we talk about immigration on the global landscape, Jamaica is a huge player coming out of the Caribbean. We have the most individuals out of the Caribbean migrating annually to the United States. So Jamaica has to be a part of the global conversation when it comes to United States immigration law.
Mm-hmm. And talk to us about programs like these and their certification focus and how they help people who want to tap into immigration services.
So outside of the certification, I'd like to say education. Mm-hmm. I think once we as Jamaicans understand fully how we can migrate, then we become more powerful as a people. If I know that I can rely on the proper preparers, the proper document preparers, who's going to take my case and handle it well so that when I migrate to the United States, I have an amazing immigration record. Mm-hmm. No lies, no frauds, nothing that's going to follow me or hurt me down the future. Immigration to the United States is a long-term game. It's not let me fill out this little paperwork and go to, it is a long-term game. So our goal of coming back to Jamaica, training individuals on how to do this correctly so they can in turn deliver this service, it's a win-win for all Jamaicans involved.
So let's tap into the event that's happening now. You've titled it Level Up Jamaica 2025. Talk to us, Dione, about when it's happening and what persons can expect.
All right. So Level Up Jamaica 2025 will be in Montego Bay, and it will be this Friday, March 28th. I am physically here on the island as well, and I'll be joined by the Consular Queen herself. This is a one-day certification program for professionals, attorneys, document preparers, travel agents, anyone who's in the field of preparing documents for individuals that are wanting to migrate to the United States. This is a one-day training giving you all the nuts and bolts. There have been a ton of changes in U.S. immigration law since January 20th under the new administration. So we want to provide those updates, the extra scrutiny that will be given to documents at the U.S. consulate in Jamaica. We want to provide those updates because, quite frankly, the playing field is changing.
So for persons who they're just starting out their business, they haven't been doing this for a very long time, should they also be attending this, or this is for people who are, sort of seasoned but still need upskilling and some updates on what to do?
I want to say this will be a one-size-fits-all training. We've looked at the services that are offered here in Jamaica. So if you're even dreaming of starting out a business, this will be for you as well. Or if you think, you know what, I'm way in the middle of my business, but I don't have access to all this changes in the law. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to fill out the DS-16. This is for you as well. So we're going to say this is a one-size-fits-all training.
And at the end of the day, talk to us about they show up on the day. Are you having several different sessions? Will there be different speakers? Practically, what will they get on the day? And at the end of the day, they should walk away benefiting how?
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you're going to walk out having comprehensive knowledge of U.S. immigration law. You're going to have a lot of aha moments. Oh my God, I didn't know that. Oh, I've been doing it wrong for all this time. So it starts out with morning. We'll have maybe a light breakfast, and then we're going to have different speakers throughout the day. This is the third time we're doing Level Up. So the Jamaican people have spoken. They have told us what they want to hear about. They want to hear about how to prepare those visas. They also want to hear about if I go to the United States, or if my client goes to the United States and they want to adjust their status. They want to learn what happens after that person departs. They also want to learn about some of the other things that happen at the consulate in Jamaica outside of that B1, B2 visa, right? So we have done our research. They've kind of told us what they want to get from this training. So we're going to make sure we're covering that. So we'll have multiple sessions ran throughout the day in Montego Bay on Friday. And to answer your question, yes, there will be more than one speakers.
Okay. And for the registration now and the cost for persons who are listening and they're interested in signing up and attending this event.
The one-day cost for the certification is $1,297 United States dollars. $1,297 United States dollars, and that will get you your certification and an actual certificate that you can have in your office.
And for persons, Dione, who are listening and they're wondering, how will this event grow my business or my career? What would you say to them?
I would say there's power in knowledge, there's growth in education. There's power in knowledge and there's growth in education. As a practicing attorney, I always go after continuing legal education. So for me, if you're building your business and you're not getting training, you're not getting access to certain information, you're not getting plugged into a community. Mind you, I run a profitable law firm inside of the United States. So therefore, I can share so much about what we're doing to build our business. So therefore, these individuals will benefit from that as well.
Are there limited spots? And I'm not sure if you had mentioned the deadline for persons to sign up or show interest.
We have no deadline, but we want you there. We want to make sure we know how many lunches to order. So we would love if you could sign up by Thursday evening. But if Friday morning the spirit moves you and you said, I have to be in Montego Bay, give us a call. We'll provide you with the location. We'll provide you and we'll get you added. So yes, we want you there, whether you can make sign up by Thursday, or if Friday morning is the cutoff, we'll definitely welcome you on Friday morning.
A good time to give your contact details as well.
Awesome. So give us a call, 470-593-8448. 470-593-8448.
Okay. And Dione, just before we let you go, just to give the general information again about Level Up 2025, the cost, where people can sign up, all of that information.
All right. So Level Up Jamaica, our third year in Montego Bay, will be this Friday, March 28th, 2025. You can sign up. Give us a call at 470-593-8448. The cost, 1,297 Jamaican dollars, and this will I'm sorry, I'm in Jamaica too long. 1,297 United States dollars, and that will give you a one-day certification in access to United States immigration law.
Dione Winter-Funde, immigration attorney and founder of Winter Immigration Law Academy, talking to us this morning about Level Up Jamaica 2025, taking your expertise in U.S. immigration services to the next level at this premier event coming up on Friday, March 28 in Montego Bay. Dione, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, going to take a break and come back with more.
Apply for your NHD refunds at nhd.gov.jm or via the NHD app. Do not click on any links offering to help you. The time by the NHD is
8:19.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
26 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 28 out west in Montego Bay, and 23 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Digicel, live life your way, not free what? Digicel postpaid. With Digicel postpaid, it's all about you. Sign up or pay your bills to stay active for a chance to win a luxurious all-expense paid trip for two to Royalton, Antigua. With round-trip flights on us, every week you could win exciting prizes. Event tickets, gym memberships, spa packages, excursion adventures, restaurant vouchers, and more. When you opt in on the My Digicel app, life your way starts now with Digicel. Better connected.
Promotion ends March 31. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Need to speak with an officer from the National Land Agency's Land Titles Division? The NLA's QME Flex appointment system allows you to consult with an officer from the Land Titles Division online or over the phone from the comfort of your home or office. Book your appointment today at nla.gov.jm. For more information, call 876-750-5263. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve you better.
Pack your bags for a dream vacation in Peru. Open a deposit account in the JN Bank Savings Streams promotion and save $15,000 or more monthly for your chance to win. Grand prize, airline tickets for two to Peru, a luxurious hotel stay, and unforgettable excursions. Other prizes, spot prizes, and cash to be won. Save so you can have the time of your life in the JN Bank Savings Streams promotion. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act. JN Bank will help you find a way.
JPS. Aye, my JPS app. The mobile app brave as I said hot. With the mobile app, you feel know you can't flop the app. In a happiness, cause what? My JPS app easy, turn a riddle my light. I feel bright than the moon. If I want thing me love me JPS app, me I tell you about it in a the tune. My JPS app easy, turn a riddle for me light. I feel bright than the moon. If I want thing me love me JPS app, yeah we fully outside with the crew. JPS, pouring what matters.
All right, so just about 8 o'clock this morning, we told you that the gates to St. James High were locked and students and staff were locked out. We're being told that the main gate is now open. However, all the classrooms are locked with brand new padlocks. So I refuse
I
to
don't
believe
understand.
St. James is a government school. Because these things cannot be happening.
It's a Monday morning.
Yes.
And
So-
all the classrooms
Yes.
are locked. With
So after the
brand new
gate was
padlocks.
locked, perhaps there was a meeting to say, you know what? Let them not say we locked the gate and locked the students out. So let's let them in, but lock the classroom. So I'm being reliably informed. The main gate is now open. However, all the classrooms at St. James High are locked with brand new padlocks. Now recall, listeners, that there was an incident some weeks ago involving the school where the gates were padlocked. Well, on the first day, school was disrupted early. And so the day was ruined, effectively, the school day. And then the day after, the students were locked out. And then the Tuesday, the classes ended early. Wednesday, there were no classes because students were locked out. And then Thursday, normalcy was restored after the intervention of the ministry. That incident, following a standoff involving the chairman of the school board, Mr. Christopher McCurdy, and the principal, Joseph Williams, and McCurdy's contention that it was a conflict of interest, potentially, for the principal's wife to sit as the PT's representative on the board of the institution. And Williams trying to block McCurdy from entering the compound of St. James High for a meeting, and police being called in, and the bad blood from that contributed to the events which saw school being let off early on Tuesday and classes being suspended on Wednesday because the gates were padlocked. That issue was addressed by the ministry, and it is that issue, Tawna, for which the ministry issued a letter on March 19 this year to Joseph Williams, principal, St. James High School, Orange Hill, Montego Bay, St. James. It reads, "Dear Mr. Williams, I write in response," and of course it's coming from Dr. Kassan Troop, the permanent secretary. "I write in response to the incident on February 24, 2025, which led to the premature suspension of classes. The ministry has carefully reviewed the matter based on the meetings held and reports received, which outlined several contending issues and opinions. Given the nature of the issues identified, we believe a comprehensive approach is necessary to assist all parties resolve their conflicts and find closure. To this end, we recommend a mediation intervention. An experienced mediator has been identified and is being engaged to facilitate this process as soon as possible. The school will be advised accordingly." Now, here's the kicker now. Dr. Troop says, "In the meantime, the school's board of management should continue to perform its normal functions in accordance with legal and regulatory requirements. We appreciate the school's cooperation as we work towards our shared goal of delivering high-quality education to our nation's children." So it was felt that the school's board would have been disbanded or, told to stand down to allow normalcy to resume. The word from the permanent secretary in the Education Ministry in this letter dated March 19, 2025, is that the Board of Management will continue to work as they were empowered to do, and that a mediator will seek to resolve the issue between the board and the principal and the other parties. This letter by Dr. Troop was copied to Mr. McCurdy, the chairman of the board, Terry and Thomas Gale, CEO of the Ministry of Education, Dr. Michelle Pinnock, the Regional Director for Region 4, Ms. Maris Murray, Executive Director of the National Council on Education, and Dr. Patricia Lumby Layler, the Territorial Education Officer for Region 4. So that's what that ministry letter last week said. So subsequent to that now, it has taken a few days, but school lock again, gates opened afterwards, but the classrooms have been padlocked. And clearly, St. James High School is a private school, and we never knew. Can't be a government school.
Yeah, because you open the school gates, then lock the classrooms with the brand new padlocks. How does that make anything any better? How does that resolve anything? Because the classrooms, that's a primary space of teaching and learning, So opening the gates and keeping the classrooms locked, yeah, it doesn't help anything. What should the students do now? Sit on the trees and stare?
I'm getting some pictures now, Tawna. I'm looking at groups of students. There's a police vehicle. Let me see if I can find the number on the police vehicle. Let me see this. It just says St. James Division, and it says Barnett Street. It has a 70 on it. It's a a pickup that's driving on the scene. So I'm seeing a picture of the main gate padlocked. I'm seeing students, a lot of students, bunched outside the school gates. Then I'm seeing a padlock of the main gate. Then I'm seeing the girls sitting on one side, the boys on the other side. Then I'm looking at a group of boys huddled, looking at their phones, some of them. Then I'm seeing the gate opened. So I get a 2 second. Oh, somebody came, from what I'm seeing here, with a grinder, a sander. You know, one of those things they used to cut steel and,
Yes.
and to grind metal. So apparently someone came with a grinder and cut off the lock. That's how the students were able to get in. So I thought it was those who locked the gate, opened the gate and let them in. But no, someone with a grinder, the tool, I'm going to put it in the group shortly. Someone cut off the lock to the gate. That's how the students were able to get, as the Earl Witter would say, or former public defender, ingress into the property.
Yes.
I would take bad sit and make joke.
Yes.
Yeah? That's how they got in. And I'm being told now that the police are on the compound. And the police have issued instructions for all the padlock doors to be opened. Town, is this a private school or a public school? May I get vexed now, may I read this thing? Because it's not funny.
It doesn't sound public.
What the hell is happening at St. James High?
You know, no, I don't know what to say.
What brand of slackness is this?
You know what I thought of just now? If this might cause and we wait to hear further information about what happened here. Who locked the gates?
Who locked the
Who locked the gates? Who put on new padlocks, as is your information, on all of the classrooms and have children at this hour, 8:30, outside their classrooms? Because you said they're now in. Somebody cut off the lock to the gate, so they're now in, but they can't get into their classrooms. If we could show those.
No, of course. I'm sending them to
images
Michelle right now. Hold
and
on there,
videos
Michelle.
on our YouTube channel.
Hold on there. Okay. There you go, Mish.
Who authorized all that? Who did that?
So
on a fresh school morning.
So here I was, I misled myself because I thought that one of the bad Samaritans decided to act in a smart way and free up the main gate, so that the children can at least come onto the compound. But it turns out that it was a good Samaritan who cut off the chain. So I'm looking at the chain now with the padlock. They cut off the chain so that they could get access to the school. And then the police are there now and have given instructions. And maybe the person with the sander / grinder is going to have to find someone to plug it to cut one padlock. What a condition in a government school. Taxpayer funded. Who could do such a thing? We ready with the roll, Michelle?
Can we take the break and then come back
All right.
with the images, footage that we have for you from St. James High?
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:30.
Skillset Talent Solutions offers marketing, accounting, business registration, logo creation, tax filing, background checks, and recruiting services. Call them at 876-559-3212. The temperature by Skillset Talent Solutions is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Mandeville, but hot at the St. James High School.
Are you ready to debate, dominate, and drive change? The public sector debate competition is back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Public sector employees, this is your chance to showcase your skills, sharpen your arguments, and tackle the nation's biggest issues head on. Don't wait. Registration closes March 28, 2025. Sign up now at publicsectortransformation.gov.jm. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit, building a better public sector for all.
Don't fall victim to deepfakes.
Watch out.
Protect yourself.
Oh, what is the
For more
on TV?
information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or
Here ya,
scan
baby.
the QR code on screen.
Deepfake. No deepfake can't catch me.
Junior, you know say AI can make something will look and sound just like you? One day Junior get a voice note from her granny. Say the food done, the medication done, and she need money urgently.
Need money urgently. But Miss Pat no like ask people for things.
And as so comes, Judy get suspicious.
So what she do?
She asks the neighbor figure check pan her. Junior, The lady quite alright over there make her Sunday dinner.
So, the voice note a deep fake.
Yes, my love. Come, your food ready.
Right now, it look like we have to outsmart the AI. But wait, I really want dege dumpling here, give me.
Me I wonder if AI can make one deep fake dumpling for you.
To learn more about deepfakes, visit www.broadcastingcommission.org.
Welcome back. Talking about the developing situation at St. James High. Earlier this morning, we reported that students, teachers, staff, everybody locked out. PB in the YouTube chat asking what happened to the teachers. She hasn't heard us say anything. Well, everybody was locked out, PB. Everybody was locked out. That was at about 8 o'clock. At about 8:20 thereabouts, we were told that the gate was now opened because someone cut the padlock to the gate. So we're showing you pictures now, those on YouTube. So this was the situation which greeted students, teachers, staff when they attempted to enter the school this morning. So from what I'm seeing, two padlocks on that chain to the main gate. And then this is what it caused. So groups of students standing, continue. So groups of boys there, looks like a staff member there turning back, boys milling around, girls on one side, a vehicle can't access the compound, the police rolling up on the scene, students outside. We're showing these images on our YouTube platform for those who are just hearing us. Staff and students sitting outside, can't go in. And then, somebody, look at the grinder on the floor. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. It was plugged in. It wasn't a battery powered one. I saw somebody in the chat asking. Yeah, so somebody cut the lock, cut the chain to the main gate so that people could enter the compound. Now, the police are, we understand, on campus and have given instructions for the padlocks to be removed from the classrooms. That's what I'm hearing. I was told that after the students and the staff members went in when the chain was cut to the front gate, they discovered that they couldn't enter any of the classrooms because the classrooms were chained and locked with brand new padlocks, I'm told. So the police went inside and said, look, we need to cut off these padlocks so people can access the classrooms. To show you how people wicked and not listen to what we say now. Wayne McIntosh in the chat says, that school was the worst school in St. James. That principal turned it around. Leave the principal alone, George, and go do some investigation instead of taking lies from Chopper Media, John. You see how people wicked? Mm-hmm. Did we blame the principal for locking the gate?
No.
Did we say anything about Mr. Williams except to say that he was written to and we read the letter? So how you jump to that conclusion, sir? And, all right, let's take you up on what you say. If the school was the worst in St. James and the principal turned it around, it means that the principal must run the school like him feel a mind too. But I'm not going to go there because nobody said anything about the principal beyond the fact that he was written to and told that a process of mediation would be initiated to resolve the dispute between the board of management and the leadership of the school. Nobody has said anything about Mr. Williams. So be quiet, Mr. McIntosh.
Which was prompted by matters in February.
Exactly.
It's now March, and this is the situation at hand this morning.
Yeah. So here's the thing now, Tana. May is exams, right?
Yes.
So April is the last full month left to prepare for exams. So who believes that the situation at St. James High now is in the best interest of the students there? And the teachers who would have worked well up to when the disruption started to prepare the students to do their best and deliver good results and continue the upward movement, or the improvement rather, in the results at St. James High. So all the stakeholders who've been working, preparing for the exams now and trying to deliver students in the best possible shape to do themselves justice. That is being significantly affected. Who among those orchestrating the lockout of students and teachers from the school plant believes that this is in the best interest of the students? Who? And what? No. So individuals have engaged in a process of sabotage because you've sabotaged the education delivery. Yes, if classes started 1 minute late and they would have started well beyond 1 minute late this morning, it would still have been an act of sabotage. What now? Who are those who are in line who did this? Who saw who this morning with chain and padlock? What happens from here? The school hostage to hostile forces at the institution who want things a particular way. What real power do those in authority have? And if they use the power that they have, and if it ends up that they crack down on those who are causing the learning loss and the anxiety and the uncertainty, who will then scream that the authorities are heavy-handed? You see why problems can't done in this country? Because we uphold slackness. Who will stand up for the children this morning? What power does authority really have? And for the big men and big women who are behind this, I ask a question all the while. Uno look at yourself in the mirror, head on. Uno comfortable with what you see? Is this in the best interest of education? Is this in the best interest of St. James High? Is it that you want to run the school as a feeding trough? Is it that you feel you own the school? Is it not taxpayers' money that runs things at St. James High? If we took out your taxes and gave it back to you, we'd still be able to run St. James High with the rest of Jamaica's money going into it. I can't believe I'm talking about this thing this morning. Anyway, Keisha is online. Morning, Keisha.
Hi, George. Morning, Carla.
Morning to you, Keisha.
Well, George, I'm here. But I just believe that the powers that be, they sit down and allow this thing to set up for too long. And this is the reason why some people can't make it look like say, St. James High School are in deadless place. So, whatever they give to the people then, they must be taking. So I wonder where is the stakeholder in all of this? Because you must have some stakeholder who supposed to understand and right and you say, this is not good. That benefiting the students then.
But Keisha, based on what I'm being told off the record, I can't repeat that on air. Are the stakeholders them lock out the people in them this morning? Some names have been called that I can't mention. Yeah? Which is why I asked the question about the big men and big women who orchestrated and carried through this lockout of students and staff from a high school, a public high school. Even if it was a private high school, it would still be a problem.
Of course, and if whatever said is true, Judge, I think there's some head for rules. I mean, we can't allow them as something to go on. It's a government-run institution. And if it was even a private-run institution, a matter of fact, some of the foolishness we see in the government-run institution would never happen in the private institution.
Boy, I can't doubt you on that.
It's tickling, especially St. James, too many times in the news and in the news for the wrong reason. Too many times, man.
And then someone defends this now, Keisha, by saying the principal has done well to turn the school around. What does that mean?
They're not here when they grow and defend criminal in our community, create havoc. And when the police, they remove them. They are the same people who protect and shield criminals. You don't expect better from them. So by time, Judge, you don't pay attention to some people. You understand me? Because, the section in the Bible says, by the fruit you shall know them,
Somebody in the chat, Keisha, says, Ravage J says, close the school. But that can't be the answer.
No.
That helps nobody at all.
Easier said than done.
But
that
listen,
should not be done.
There's not a good time to lock a school, but you could lock it now.
Exactly.
Exams are weeks away.
You understand? I think that there are ways to resolve whatever situation there rather than closing down the school. Some parents can't afford to put money to make them picnic in front down the road. We are going to do our next school.
It's ridiculous.
But Judge, on the substance,
Yeah, man,
right?
give me the point.
Yes. Judge, I am one of them who can't wait to see the school service, the public school bus service roll out in the rural area.
Mm-hmm.
Judge, when I just came to live in Kingston in 2005, me I pay $15 per bus. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But when me go back at St. me I pay probably about 300%, 500% more than the $15 when I pay at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep on saying this over the years. So I believe that it was a discrimination, right? Because when you're looking at Kingston, part of St. Catherine, part of St. Andrew, and you see when these children travel on the JUTC bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are paying a small fee compared to those children who live out in the rural area.
Oh, yes.
Who some of these parents Don't you have a job?
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking to a parent that lives in White House, Westmoreland, and his child attend Manchester High School, George. Take, for instance, that child has to travel to Black River. Half of the fare from White House to Black River is $100, right? Because it's $200 for adults, so they charge half that, right?
Yes.
And the only child that's a Black River, the child has to take a taxi again to Santa Cruz, right? Which is $300. Half of that is $150. So you've got $250 already, right?
Yes.
And to get to Monday, it's $400. Half of that is $2. So what is it, $450?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the other, another $450 to get back home. That's $900 down.
Yes.
Where in Kingston a child is paying $900?
Nowhere at all.
Nowhere. And let me tell you, the powers that be, the administration of the day, and Mr. Darival should not bend over to any one of these representatives who represent these taxi group, because the service that we are getting is atrocious. It's just because we can't do better when we have to use it. Right?
Which is why when I heard Edgerton Newman this morning talking, I laughed to myself and I said, boy, Edgy, you get this one wrong, brother.
And Keisha, sometimes the kids are left stranded because the same taxi operators don't want to bring them.
Oh, well, I'm going to get to that. Do you realize that whenever time there's a bargain at the table, right? And people don't not satisfied with whatever response they get. They architect, they protest, and the first Monday when school are opening in September, George, you can go check that.
Absolutely right you are. Absolutely right you are.
Yeah, the first they deliberately to interrupt the education system.
Yeah.
Why the protest of going in August? Why the first Monday when school are opening? George, we need a transportation service that is cost effective to the people them of the country, reliable. Because what we have now is not reliable, George, and it is not safe either.
Hear you on that. After all, the time up. Thank you, Keisha. Good point this morning. Thank you.
Jamaica's Spark program is investing $45 billion to improve roads, water, and telecom. Better infrastructure for a better future. The time by Spark is
8:45.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some helping heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. choice to sit it out or dance. I hope you did. It's a wheel in constant motion, always rolling, oh so long. I hope tell you me did. Who wants to look back on their years and wonder where those years have gone. I hope you still
That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. Belated birthday greetings going out. This one says to my ever darling husband, Wilton Curry, from your wife, Narvelin. Belated birthday greetings to you, Wilton, from your wife, Narvelin. She says, love you to the max. Happy birthday greetings to Judith Reed of TAJ Facilities Management Branch. Hey to you, Judith, celebrating your birthday today. Happy birthday. This message for you as you celebrate your special day. We wish you God's blessings and good health. Much love from your team members, HTHS Steering Committee. Happy birthday to our friends on Facebook as well. Apolliana Clark, Brittany Ann, Moesha McIntyre, happy birthday. Happy birthday as well to Osric Forrest. It's your birthday, Osric. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Kiana Boss Lady British here on Facebook. And Annie Gordon. Hey to you, Annie. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for you a great day as well. And Arlene Rose sending belated happy birthday blessings. She says to my grandchildren's father, Lee Croft McKenzie, a.k.a. Lee in New Jersey, celebrated his birthday yesterday. So belated birthday greetings to you, sir, from your entire family. Belated birthday greetings also going out to Dr. Paula Dawson.
Hi, Dr. Dawson.
Yeah, belated birthday greetings to you.
Happy birthday.
Belated birthday greetings as well to Tajna Williams. Hey to you, Tajna. Celebrated your birthday yesterday. Your NNN Fam Bam sending you much love. Hope you had a great day. And guess what? Belated birthday greetings to our very own Lady HR, Simone Lunan Henry. Her birthday.
Miss Ready November, Simone Bar.
It was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Simone, belatedly.
Belated birthday greetings to you, Sim Simma. Hope you had a wonderful day. Much love to you. Is this another belated birthday greetings to Beverly Thomas? Belated birthday greetings to you, Beverly Thomas. Celebrated your birthday yesterday as well. Hope you had a good birthday. And Tina Larman is sending happy 70th anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Newman. They got married on March 24, 1955.
What?
And they listen to Nationwide and Cliff Hughes every day.
That's brilliant.
So happy anniversary to the Newmans, celebrating 70 years of marriage. Can you imagine? Wonderful.
Ridiculously wonderful.
Ridiculously wonderful indeed. Also celebrating a birthday today, Olive White sending happy birthday greetings to Carissa Robinson from Ranch in St. Mary. Happy birthday to you, Carissa. It's your birthday today. From your Auntie Olive in Kingston. She's saying to you, love you, girl. Enjoy your day. Kalisha Ellis sending happy anniversary to her niece and her husband. That's Sheikah and Orville Bosco, both teachers at Tacky High School. Hey to our educators. Both of them, the Boscos, celebrating their anniversary today. Happy anniversary to them, Sheikah and Orville Bosco, coming from Kalisha Ellis.
Walls have crumbled from my body and soul. Write your name across my heart. I want the world to know that I am yours forever, and I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart.
Eileen Beecher sending happy birthday. She says to my granddaughters, Oh, it's tomorrow, Eileen. So just drop it back in the chat. Okay, what I'll do is to snap a quick photo of it so I'll remember it for tomorrow. But I did see another. Where'd it go? Here it is. Kalisha Ellis also sending belated birthday greetings to Jimmy and Manicia Ballantyne. They celebrated their special day yesterday. She's saying love you both. So belated birthday greetings to Jimmy and Monicia. And who else is on the list? Petal Diva 21 sending belated birthday greetings. She says to my sweet granddaughter Rikari Comrie, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. Greetings coming from Grandma Comrie. So she says, love you, baby girl. So belated birthday greetings to you, Rikari Comrie. And Val Max sending belated birthday greetings to Auntie Beryl. Auntie Beryl Long McFarlane in Glenmere Meadows in Maypen celebrated her 93rd birthday on the 19th. And Val Mac is saying love from all her nieces, nephews, and loved ones. So belated birthday greetings to you, Auntie Beryl, out there in Maypen.
And I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart. And I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart. Across my heart.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
No New Year's Day to celebrate. No chocolate covered candy hearts to give away. No first of spring, no song to sing. In fact, here's just another ordinary day. No April rain, no flowers bloom, no wedding Saturday within the month.
Seeing a final one here before we go. Melissa Williams sending belated birthday greetings to Shanna Smikle from the Tatius Golden Class of 07 alumni. Wishing you many more, sweet girl. I love you, sweets, says Melissa Williams here on YouTube. So belated birthday greetings to you, Shanna Smikle. Roxana Blackwood sending belated birthday greetings to brother Wesley and cousin Charmaine. It was their birthdays on Friday and Saturday. So belated birthday greetings to Wesley and Charmaine from Roxana Blackwood.
To say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
So those are all the birthdays now. Happy birthday to you if you're celebrating your birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well. Michelle Simpson sending happy birthday greetings to Joan Robinson in Newell, St. Elizabeth. Happy birthday to you, Joan Robinson in Newell, St. Elizabeth. Wishing for your wonderful day. Greetings coming from Michelle Simpson. And up top here on YouTube, sending belated birthday greetings to Kathleen Coley. Kathleen Coley, belated birthday greetings to you from up top here in the YouTube chat. And happy birthday greetings to Alexander Carrington. Hey to you, Alexander Carrington. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Greetings coming from Mom and Dad, Justin, Andre, Grandma, Ann, wishing for you a wonderful day. And that's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thanks so much to our technical operator and the musical maestro, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCrae-Smith, and our super editor, Kimon Thompson, in the newsroom. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tana.
And I'm George.
Good morning.
I just called to say
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
and I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
International Women's Day was celebrated on Saturday, March 8 around the world under the theme Accelerate Action. Well, members of the Jamaica Defence Force JDF wasted no time in